Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If you're a non-supporter of Liverpool, if you're a Liverpool supporter, my commiserations and my best wishes to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. You are locked into the Call-In Khan show, your Saturday night call-in show where you have the chance to call in and speak your opinions about your club, whether that's Liverpool, whether that's Arsenal, whether that's Man United, City, Barcelona, even whatever it is you want to speak about. We're here to listen. We're here to give you a platform to speak on. All we require and ask is good Wi-Fi, bit of respect. In fact, a lot of respect, and nothing else really. You can rip us to shreds. You can rip yourself to shreds. Talk about your club however you want. Nothing is no holds barred, as they say. No holds barred. Certainly won't be from us guys anyway. I think it's fair to say, Bilal, last night we were so excited about the events, and I didn't really talk about Liverpool because I couldn't give a shit even if we'd won or lost, whatever. So of course there'll be loads of Liverpool people that want to chat about the Liverpool, but from your perspective, from the Arsenal perspective, how was your day?
Well, to be honest, right, the day started off great from a footballing perspective, right? Man United, for me, for the first time that I can remember in my life, right? I've grown up just majority of my friends were either Arsenal fans or Man United fans, to be honest, right? So watching them lose has been even keeping the pain of Arsenal being rubbish for the last few years, just kept me going pretty much. But today I was there. I was supporting them in a way. I was wanting them to win. Every time Man City were calling for penalties, I was against them. So yeah, for me in this game, I was happy, man. Honestly, when they came back, the first goal dodgy. I was like, yo, Man United corruption, but I'm enjoying it. And yeah, the second goal as well, Marcus Rashford 2-1. And yeah, everything was going well. I'm now tuned into the Brighton Liverpool game. It starts off mad. I'm just like, oh, Matoma is looking dangerous. Trent, you might as well just pretend you're injured because this is a long day.
Yes.
That was one of those ones. I was like, bro, just go off the pitch, man, because today it's not the day. Brighton are like 1-0. Well, no, it was 0-0 at half time. Come back now, 1-0.
Well, how it was 0-0, we don't know. We don't
know. Somehow it was 0-0 at half time. Then it's gone 1-0, it's gone 2-0. It's like, okay, fair enough. Brighton clearly been the only team playing this game today. And I go on my phone. And I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Chelsea have bid 100 million for Mudryk. And I'm there like, no. What's going on here? I was expecting a here we go to Arsenal.
Here we go to Arsenal, you know what I mean? But did you think something? But did you? Let's just say hello to Cav as well. Cav, you're right, mate. No, sorry, stupid question, sorry. But hi, Cav.
All right, guys. Yeah, don't let me kill you in your flow. I'm doing all right. I got my tea. This is the people's show, so I'm just here to take a bit of a beating and offer anything I can at this stage.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers. But back to Bilal. Bilal, did you think something's up from the time Shakhtar's club account was doing cryptic tweets? Because for me, if I'm an Arsenal fan, that's bait. Why is the club doing cryptic tweets and stuff?
There were so many weird things that happened today. So I woke up in the morning, I've gone on my phone, and there's a few Arsenal fans just having jokes, right? They've gone like, Chelsea are hijacking the deal. But this is in the morning. This is not true. This is just Arsenal fans just having a bit of banter. Then a few hours have gone, the Shakhtar accounts like, follow us, get us to 51,000 followers. We've got something interesting to tell you guys.
What's that?
We've all followed their account. The Arsenal fans have flooded their mentions, and we're like, Mudryk. Okay, that's happened now. They've got the followers. And then boom, as I said, I'm watching the Brighton Liverpool game. Ding, 100 million. I'm thinking, okay, here we go to Chelsea have hijacked. I'm thinking, what is going on? Todd Bowley, you could save the world from hunger, starvation, war with this money. Come on, do something positive instead of just hijacking deals. And to be honest, right, the Arsenal fans, I think the majority of them, because I feel like I've always been in the minority of this deal in terms of I was one of those having to be convinced that this is a deal worth doing in January. The money, we've talked about it countless times as well on here. I've been like, you asked me even last week, who would I have won? I said João Felix. He's even going to Chelsea as well, which is hilarious. But, which is funny as well. He's gone to Chelsea as well. But yeah, this deal out of nowhere has happened. And yeah, I can't lie, just last few hours, I think Arsenal fans, their heads have gone. I'm getting messages from Arsenal fans. From
Well,
Chelsea
you have a
fans.
message from our very own Mr. Omar is in the building. He says, "Can you ask Bilal about that Mudryk Arsenal top he was going to send me?" It's all on. I think it's all on delay for now. It's on hold.
As Kanye West said, I guess we'll never know about that. You know, you ain't getting that top, bro. You ain't getting
the top. Guys, there's over 500 of you lovely, amazing people in here. People are already asking, how do you call in? So, Amir, what's going to happen is I'm going to basically link to call in will be in the chat. All you got to do is click on that link, have a YouTube account, and you're in. Have a camera, have a Wi-Fi. Camera's not optional today. I know a lot of Liverpool fans may not want to show their face. I understand. I'm a very understanding guy, but be respectful. No, just be respectful, man. Normal human being, moral rules, man. I don't need to be a school teacher and shit. Be respectful. Say what you want, how you want. But please have your points and questions ready, because as you can imagine, we're expecting a very, very busy show. So yeah, I'm about to pin the link. While I do that, Bilal's given us his events of the day analysis. I'm going to ask Cav how he's been doing today while I get the link pinned in the chat.
Well, I think you might have, I don't know if you messaged this to me, Grizz, or you tweeted it. I can't remember now, but you said something like you can actually watch this game, the Manchester derby, without having, without worrying about the result, because let's be honest, it doesn't really affect Liverpool at this point in time. And now it's exactly the same. I was like, do you know what? For the first time in a long time, I'm just going to watch this game and enjoy it. Like I don't mind which way the result goes. It doesn't affect Liverpool. Unfortunately, we were out of that race. I think both teams have probably got a good chance. Well, definitely City, but I think United got a great chance of finishing top 4. So I don't really see us as rivaling them for that. And I could just enjoy the game for what it was. And I thought it was a brilliant game. I really did. I think all credit to United for getting the win, but I really liked the start of the game where once they got the ball, they just tried to keep it, and they just tried to play passes and build into the game. And then it was clear to see they were playing counter-attacking football, but they did it well. And it's nice to see two managers contrasting styles, take the game seriously, set their teams up, to both exploit the opposition's weaknesses and then try and defend as best you can against their threats and stuff. Loads of top stars on the pitch. So I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I rolled into the Liverpool game and I was like, oh boy, I knew what I was in for and it still hurt. Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew it would be a tough afternoon. We did the preview. We both agreed that Brighton's probably one of the most informed football playing sides you can play at the minute. I thought there was a chance we might be in for a bit of a schooling, and that's what we got delivered. I don't want to go on too much because we could speak all night about Liverpool, but after watching that game, I felt a bit deflated and I had to pick myself up. So I went out for a walk. I've made some tea. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to come here and listen to what the other people have to say and see if anybody can kind of change my thoughts about the situation at Liverpool at the minute, because it's a bit flat. It's a bit deflating, I'm not going to lie. And I don't buy into I try not to get involved into all the shouty stuff on Twitter and things like that, because at the end of the day, it's a bit pointless, So
it's a bit pointless. It's a bit pointless like Liverpool were today. I'm not gonna lie, it was very, very horrible viewing. People are of course rolling into the studios. We can see you all, guys. Just bear with us. We're gonna set the show up. I'm gonna go through a few super chats before we get into it. Pixelate Pigeon says we have dropped off so far off the elite levels we were at. It's pure delusion to think the levels were sustainable without freshening up key positions. Pure, utter delusional. Pure, utter delusional. There is zero excuses for it. And that's what's baffling. Guys, I'm on a different page. If there's any super chats or anything, starring for me, Kevin, Billy, all right? Pimp in Distress, my brother, welcome. Big up G for making the G trip. Deserved far better. Please help me. Why won't FSG and Klopp act after seeing that shit? You help us, bro. Help each other. We're here to help each other. I don't know why. I kind of know what's possibly going on, and I'm going to speak in depth on tomorrow's RedFellas. This is going to be designated to the Liverpool chat, and I'm going to say a few harsh truths and share what I've known and heard. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Jerome Simons, forgive me. Liverpool may be trash, but you're a great guy, Grizz. Enjoy the super chat. Maybe buy some tissue. Just kidding, Grizz. Keep up the great work. I'm gonna buy some chocolate with that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. No, I am. No, Cav, I'm gonna buy some chocolate.
No, hey, appreciate the love, because I don't know if Jerome supports Liverpool, but we need love right now. We need a big hug. So appreciate.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna buy chocolate, bro. I'm gonna buy chocolate with that. Tony Stark says Darwin Núñez is simultaneously a waste man and also critical to Liverpool's attack. He's so right. That is so right, that sentence. Well, waste man in terms of he does waste a few chances, but he's absolutely critical. And today showed what I've been fucking saying for weeks, that without Darwin Núñez, we are absolutely limp. I'm telling you now. And today was a glimpse. And this is why I understand an attacker coming in. It was just a wrong attacker for me. But we'll get into that. I don't know if you guys want to go into a full Klopp cycle from Gegenpress to now, long ball, and inshallah. Why always me? Yo, Grizz, did you see that Liverpool women team signed a midfielder? You can't make this up. I didn't see that, bro. But if that's the case, yeah. And there's a point where we have to admit they're trolling. They're trolling us, man. What else can I say, bro? Ryan McNicholas says Klopp was poor, but how do you organize any tactical protection when players are losing balls they shouldn't lose? It's peak. Yeah, Ryan, we're gonna touch on it today as well. We're gonna go into a deep dive tomorrow on RedFellas as well for that. But I appreciate the support. Gone from a transition, Shane says, period, to a giant rebuild. It didn't have to be that way though. It genuinely didn't have to be that way. Tony says, you think there's a Scrooge McDuck type money pool at Chelsea? Well, that's another thing, Bilal, man. We've touched upon Chelsea, but they haven't finished. They literally haven't finished, because I'm hearing today, I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, someone I really trust at Chelsea tells me they're going all out for Moises Caicedo now. Next. Yeah, laugh, innit? Laugh. If you don't laugh, you have to cry. If you don't laugh, you cry. So I don't want to cry. I just want to laugh and look like a madman, because you still look like you look like a weak man if you cry, or a madman if you laugh. My pride is too much to look like a weak man. I want to look like a madman, so I'm just going to laugh.
I've never seen anything like this in football. We talked about when Roman first joined Chelsea and how he changed, obviously, big money entering from abroad and then pumping it into a club, getting them up. But I think this is even more next level. We've seen PSG come into the market, of course, with Neymar and Mbappe, the inflated transfer fees, but still it doesn't feel like what Chelsea are doing at all. You know, Man City, Newcastle, okay, maybe we have to wait and see what Newcastle do over the next few years. But even Man City, they spent a lot of money, yes, but doesn't feel the same way as what Chelsea are doing right now. So, yeah, I just feel like this is an insane situation. And if they can get Caicedo, is this real?
Is this real? Like, this is real what they're doing out there.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't blame. I know some people were saying, why don't Arsenal just bid the same as Chelsea? And listen, the thing is, if we bid the same as Chelsea, who's to say they don't go 10 million more? And then, what, we're going to come back again and just keep going backwards and forward? We cannot compete with this, you know? So
no one who can compete. No one.
Exactly. No, so we might as well just let it go, because honestly, if this continues and Chelsea allowed to keep doing this in the market, maybe some of the oil-rich teams can maybe compete.
Do you know what we need?
But
do you know what we need? We need someone who knows about how FFP works, the Chelsea situation. If someone's out of the 750 people we got live right now, if anybody knows how it works, then let us know. Call in, because it's pointless speculating. Like,
from my understanding, is they can spend this much money because when Roman obviously got booted out of the club, he actually cleared the debt, the 1.5 billion that Chelsea actually owed him. So the club's debt free. But does that still explain the amount of money that they're spending? But that's Todd Bowley. And listening to some Americans, that even we've had some people say in America, this is how he operates in terms of buying players and, you know, just putting everything down on the table. He owns that, was it DraftKings, some gambling thing in America? You know, he's just got that proper American vibe about him, rock and roll and all of that. So who knows? But the debt-free element to it is probably what's letting them spend this kind of money.
Do it like this. Yeah, do it like this. Yeah. Just a couple more super chats before we start getting into the callers, because we've got a full house now. Guys, and any potential ladies in there as well. We're gonna have to be very, very quick and brief with your points and questions because there's 15 people in the studio. Again, Yo, what's good says again, what did Klopp work on during the World Cup? Me and Cav were asking this very question last week, mate. Seriously, he looks void of ideas. If there's no Trent vertical ball, we look lost. Klopp's a psychopath, does the same thing, expecting different results. I think he means always smiling. Cav, I don't know about you. I didn't see no smiles today, though.
No, do you know what? Today, actually, I mentioned this on past times we did post matches. I'm like, I've seen no real reaction from Klopp in the game, but today there was. He was berating, went up and down the touchline, but you could see he was going at players and read into that what you will. But yeah, he's not a happy man. And some people saying he looks a broken man. That might also be true.
Vegan Sports Bar says Klopp said it's the worst he's seen. Do you agree? I tweeted it. I said, can't remember to the word. Pretty much I said this is the worst performance I've ever seen. But I seem to be saying it every week. Jerome, another super chat for the chocolate. You're so kind. Just some clarity. I'm a Man United until I die. I love what is happening to Liverpool. I just want to keep it low today, not rant and brag. Listen, it's your time right now, man. You do what you got to do, bro. You know what I mean? I remember I was stepping on you guys' necks as well, so I'm about to get it now. It is what it is. Shane McGee says, I get Klopp has to speak in a certain way in presses, but we all knew what the result was going to be today. And that's the fucking damning part of it all. Klopp saying he didn't see this astounds me. Astounds me as well. Guys, as Cav says, we could talk about just these 2 points that we've spoken about, Arsenal and Liverpool all day and all night. Shall we start getting into the callers? Amir sends the Qatar flag and sends the eyes emoji. I'm going to go into it more in depth tomorrow on RedFellas, my friend. Anything that I know and anything that I think stands to be correct, I will speak on it tomorrow about all that business. We have some Man United fans in the building. MUFC Kaz says it ain't easy. Of course it ain't. So he's in the building. He says, you ready next week, everyone? Chelsea versus Liverpool mid-table clash. Life's different. That's what I'm going to say.
Mid-table teams playing relegation football.
Life's different. I'll tell you what we're going to try to do. Shall we try to get in Liverpool? If we've got Liverpool fans, then what we try to do is get 1 or 2 at the same time, because then we'll get more people's opinions and views that way. Do you think that's a good idea? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, yeah, we'll bring in the first. Is there another? Yeah, we'll bring in the first caller. It's going to be Ben. Ben, of course, has been on my channel. He's part of Young Bucks. Ben is a very passionate Liverpool fan. Ben wears his heart on his sleeve. Ben is distraught today. All right, Ben.
I do, mate. You're right. Well, silly question, really, isn't it? But you know what?
I'm having chocolate, and I'm having you see these little ones, right? They make you feel better because you think you're having only a little bit, so it's not going to do too much to the figure. The only fucking problem is this is my 75th one. Yeah. Continue.
I'm gonna grab some after. Anyway, I'm gonna, you know what, like the technicalities and all of that, I'm gonna leave that to other people because I think other people probably be able to speak better than me. I just want to speak about this, Grizz, and you would have got first-hand glimpse of it. I just want to speak about this moment right here. That's why I want to bring up, mate. And obviously seen it, and there's been I've been thinking this a long time. I think I don't want to say it, but
say it, bro. Say what your heart says.
I think he looks done. Not in terms of like, I don't think the board will sack him. I don't think they'll ever have it in them to do that. But I genuinely believe, and I think that he, if at the end of the season, might just walk and leave it, because there's only so long, and people will look at him and say, "Oh, he's been saying all this stuff that we don't need this, that, or the other." I don't truly think he believes that, because we aren't like, we do football stuff. We talk about it on YouTube. We do Twitter and all of that stuff, but we don't know anything compared to these guys, and we can see what the problems are. We can see what this club needs to even get top 4. Yeah, you're telling me that Jurgen Klopp can't see that? There's no way. So first of all, I don't believe what he says in terms of we don't need this, that, or the other. But that moment, like, just made me feel like he's apologizing, and that's crazy. Like, what has Jurgen Klopp ever had to apologize for since he's been here? Like, it's just since he came, he's, you know, took us to the heights of the heights. In, let's be real, not much time at all. About 2 seasons, if that, he was in his first full season got us into the top 4. Second
Two
first
finals.
full season, yeah,
Two
2 finals as
finals
well.
and
Second
top
full
4.
season, Champions League final. Third full season, wins the Champions League, almost wins the Prem, and it just goes on and on and on. And now we're in a situation, and there's only people to blame, FSG. They're the only people to blame for the situation where we have left Jurgen Klopp hanging out to dry, where he now has to come to the away fans like yourself, Grizz, that were in that stadium tonight, put his hands up and apologize to them. And I'm gonna say it as well, mate. You said I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do wear my heart on the sleeve. People hate me on Twitter, but I don't care.
Never care about people on a phone or computer that don't know you. Never.
But, there's a big difference, I believe, and you know what? It always goes back to Gino Adams' comments when he left. And this is not a dig at people that don't go to the games, by the way. Do not take it that way at all. There's many Liverpool fans that don't go to games. I wasn't in a situation where I could go to games before recently, so this is not a dig at people that don't go to games. But the big difference, and it's not everyone that doesn't go, is that you'll go on Twitter right now, you'll see Klopp out trending. And Grizz, I wasn't in that away end tonight, but I'm pretty sure every single one of those Liverpool fans would have been behind the manager when he came over to you. And that's what I wanted to ask you about, mate. It's more of a question to you. You know, what was the mood? Did it feel like, is what I'm saying true? Did it feel like you at that point thought that he's going to go? Like, because, look, I've been to probably 7 games this season. And again, I'm fortunate enough to be in that position. I know not everybody is. And there's never been a hint of fans turning on him, booing him, you know, going crazy when he makes subs, saying that he's naive, shouting at him, calling him all kinds of stupid names. But then you go on Twitter and you see these idiots, and it's like they want him gone. And I keep asking them, if you're in that situation where you're thinking that we're in a better position to get rid of him and get someone else, if you don't think he can work with these owners, and this is why I hope what you've been told is true and it's going to happen. So I'll be interested to tune in tomorrow. Then who in the world will? So, Grizz, I don't know if you can shed some light, mate, on how the mood was tonight when he came over to the fans.
That is such a deep question for me today, especially today, because I was literally telling Cav and Bilal, I had a nasty exchange with a few local Scousers. So today maybe it's a bit too emotional and raw for me to speak on the fans. On the fans, like local fans and how they match going fans and all that business. But what I will say, and again, I hate when I have to say this part because even making me speak like this makes me cringe. Like when I speak for myself. That's so obvious. I don't speak for the fucking whole fan base. So when people say, and I don't even want to say that because it makes me feel like, why the fuck do I need to even explain that? I'm a no one. I'm a nobody. But I can, without any doubt, and I've got experience of probably about 25 years going home and away with Liverpool. Spent a lot of money. If you ask my family, they'll tell you, man. You know what I mean? How much money I've spent home and away. I have never... Okay, let's talk about Klopp. 99%, and Cav, this is what I said the other day, didn't I, on the show, where I said 95%, I said, of the match-going fan base have never shouted at Klopp, abused Klopp. What are you fucking doing? Of course, he's made so many errors. He's made errors. He's human. He's a football coach. Football coaches live by the decisions and die by their decisions and calls or whatever. And he's going to be the same. If he continues to make bad calls, he'll either resign or get sacked. That's the way football works. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to think the Liverpool fan base is way beyond losing respect and dignity for this guy. This guy he's not untouchable. Of course he's not. But as far as I know or think and have been part of, there's no one calling for his head. No one calling for his job. No animosity towards him. Yeah, we're bemused by his tactics. Yeah, we're bemused. Oh, Jurgen, what's going on here? That is normal reactions of fans. Highs and lows, disagreements. He's not the best coach ever, but he's our coach. Mm-hmm. And anything that's yours, you treat like it's your own. And we are so far, match-going fans have treated him like that. When he came over, we felt like crying, lads. I'm not gonna lie.
I would have cried.
I'm not gonna lie.
I would have cried.
I'm a grown-ass man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like some would say, too grown. right? But I'm telling you, bro, it's emotional, man. This guy, but I mean, Cav and Bilal come in, say what you lot want to say, man. Ben's raised an emotional point for me, especially after some of the abuse I got today from a few local people, and I don't want to start digging them out. We've got so much to talk about, but yeah.
All I'd add is that he's brought us success, yes, but what he's also done is he's brought back our identity. You know, a lot of Liverpool fans felt like we'd lost that, you know, when we had sort of Hodgson and Rodgers and stuff. Although we was in a title challenge 13-14 under Rodgers, and it was exciting. There's a DNA at Liverpool that can't be copied, can't be replicated by other clubs, you know, and it's almost unexplainable. And Klopp came in and harnessed that. He really understood what we were about, what the city were about, how we were unique as fans, and he embraced it and he used it to power this team in some respects, you know, the power of Anfield and all of that. And I think he's shown how good he can be as a manager, and he's also shown that where he's failed as well. We've seen this before from Klopp, especially the COVID season. He's making some mad decisions, and you was almost like, "Yo, what's going on with him?" This is crazy. Some of the decisions he's making, some of the setups he's putting out there, some of the tactics don't work anymore. We've asked these questions before, and he come through it. You know, he did come through it. You know, we got players back. We ended up finished third that season, and we went again. With that now, probably in an equally bad position. To be fair, you know, we've got loads of forwards out at this moment in time. He's making crazy decisions, but if you think that he should go, you think that there's someone better out there. That's fair. You're entitled to your opinion. But unless you think there's someone better out there, just defend the guy and support the guy as much as you can. And don't forget, he's in the eye of the storm. We as fans, we watch it all and we're frustrated. This guy has to go in tomorrow. He has to pick the boys up. He has to pick himself up. He has to pick him staff up because all of them are failing. And he has to try and get this team back to playing again, in which is one of the toughest leagues in the world, right? It remains to be seen whether he'll do it. There's a lot of factors to it, but let's not discredit what he's done for us before. Let's not go overboard, and let's just try as much as we can to support him, because we're more likely to be successful if you support him and the team. That's what I will say, you know. And if you think that there's a change, then go about it in the right way and try and voice your opinion. But let's not go overboard, I would say.
In any shape, in any level of society, in any work, in anything, if you want change, you go about it the right way. Like you literally do it the right way. There's channels for everything. Like when we wanted Hicks and Gillette, we made it known, and you know, we done it properly. Obviously, social media wasn't so prevalent then. Maybe it would have been different. But all this just abusing him and calling him Nazi and all this kind of rubbish that you hear kids talk about.
I'd love people to go to a game and try and do that nonsense to see what people.
Do you know what? It's not nice what would happen. And you know, and unfortunately, it's true. They wouldn't have the balls to speak in a ground. They'd be so overruled and whatever. Imagine being at Anfield, and if you manage to get a seat close to Jurgen Klopp, and you're shouting what you do on Twitter to him and there. Are you fucking mad? Are you really? If you're a Liverpool fan, I'm talking about. Sorry, if you're opposition fan, yeah, that's what you do. That's tribalism. But imagine being a Liverpool fan and you call yourself a Liverpool supporter. Because that's what I always say. There's a difference between a fan and a supporter. And you're saying some of the shit that you say on Twitter to Jurgen Klopp or any of the players as well when they come. You wouldn't. You're just brave, man. You're just brave.
Can I just add something on just before I dip? I also think, like, you know, the news that whatever's coming out, and I don't know what the full extent is, but if there is a potential takeover, then I think that will be absolutely huge as to what his next decision is. Because if it is these guys, and I think he'll know who it's going to be, if it is these guys that are here now, then I definitely think he'll go in terms of him walking at the end of the season. He just looks deflated. But if there's brighter days around the corner and people are going to
like he alluded to, people forgotten his. Do you remember his press conferences a couple of weeks ago where he talks about a brighter future? You know. But as I said, I'm going to more speak on that tomorrow on RedFellas. Ben, as usual, mate, wonderful always speaking to you, man. You're top bloke, man.
Bilal, you can hold that about Mudryk as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Big up, boys.
Cheers,
nice
Ben.
one. In a bit, mate.
Take care, bro.
Cheers. Yeah, I know you guys went through it with Arsenal and Wenger, Bilal, but it's not nice, is it, when it happens like this?
Yeah, I put out a little tweet today and I said, like, it reminds me, there was one game Wenger had against Brighton. They had this winger, I can't remember, wasn't it Iscadero? Something like that. I think we lost like 2-1. He's gone and scored a weldy. And that was one of the games, like, yeah, it's the beginning of the end, for Wenger. And with the Klopp, right? The longer this continues, the comparisons, obviously, to what happened last season at Dortmund is always going to come up, because he ended up walking away in the end because he said, I just can't turn around the team. And I think he's a brave man to do that. And I don't think, because Omar came back and said, yeah, he's not finished as a manager or a top manager. I said, yeah, of course, he's not finished as a top manager. But if he feels like he can't really change the situation, if he feels like he's not even going to get the backing maybe to reinvent the team as well, it might be a thing where he's like, you know what? I've taken this team as far as I can towards the end of the season.
That's my fear with this guy. Yeah, this is my fear with this guy. He's a very emotional man. Mm-hmm. He operates on emotion bigger than anything else. That's my only fear. Is that your biggest fear as well, Cav?
Yeah. Do you know what? Klopp's biggest strengths are also his biggest weaknesses. Yeah. He is emotional, and that's brought us so much success. I touched upon it earlier, power of Anfield, connecting with the fans and stuff. It also clouds his judgment at times when we think about his loyalty to players and things like this. And look, if one thing I would say is he is an intelligent guy, and if he genuinely thinks he can't push this team any further and he walks away, that much is probably true. So as Liverpool fans, we probably just need to accept it. It's sad, probably won't like it, end of an era. But if that's the decision he come to, I think it'd probably be a right one, because as long as he's still believes in himself and backs himself he sees the quality in the squad, he sees what he can do in the market. If he believes he can generate, a second team that competes for titles again, because that's what we want to be, then cool. But if you don't think he can do that, then it probably is the right thing to walk away. But let's see, because we're a long way off that. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Do you know when? For me, because I don't know. Do you know when his contract ends in just January?
Yeah. He's just signed a new one last year. Right? So yeah, is it 2026, Cav?
Yeah.
2026.
So contract-wise, he's comfy. So yeah, it's one of those ones. Can just he's got the power in this situation to, like, if he wants to stay, he'll stay. If he wants to walk away, he'll walk away. But I don't think we're not there yet. It's one of those ones towards the end of the season, as I said, where we'll see where Liverpool end up, and then in the summer, takeovers, whatever, then we'll know what's really going to happen.
Zane's in the building, of course, our resident Arsenal fan, always ready to troll whenever and wherever and however he can. Grizz, it's the beginning of the Arsenal United rivalry and the end of an era for Liverpool. Arsenal's still winning the league. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's the end of era of Liverpool. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the end of this team. But I wouldn't say, as long as Klopp's there, I wouldn't say it's the end of the era. It's the end of that Klopp team. I agree with you, Zane. That's what I will say. And good luck with the league, man. It is what it is. Where's the other ones, man? Samuel says, why no back five from Klopp? Virgil, Konate, Matip. Trent and Robertson can play wing backs. One less midfielder, man. He's not the tactician I thought he was. He's got to do something, Cav.
Surprised that three at the back's not been tried, at least. I've not seen it even once being tried. I've seen a 4-2-3-1. I've kind of seen like a 4-4-2, but I've not seen a...
He's played it very, very rarely. In fact, one of the few times that he tried it was one in his second season, I believe. Guess where he played it? At Brighton. He played it at Brighton with, guess, you're going to laugh. He had Lovren, centre-back. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Gini Wijnaldum on one side as a centre-back and Emre Can on the other side as a centre-back. And we smashed them 3-0 or something, 3-1.
Talking about midfielders in defence, like Pascal Gross today, was he not a right-back?
Get out.
Get out, though.
Get out.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He's playing as a second striker at the beginning of the season.
I couldn't believe it. Miata says, would you prefer this to continue or state-backed? Bro, come on, we don't have not saying that, and you know what I mean? We don't know the complexities behind all that kind of stuff. Travis says, remember when Hendo used to start on the right under Dalglish? Is that Elliot right now? Elliot wasn't even on the pitch, man. We can't even blame Elliot today or anything. Henderson was atrocious. Fabinho was abysmal. And Thiago was awful. I can't think of one player that I can give above 4 to today. 4. honestly, anyone that says Klopp out after last season is willing to give him another season to sort out can do one, in my humble opinion, of course. But this is the best tweet of the day. The message, comment, smash the like as it costs as much as FSG are prepared to spend on a midfielder. F4.
I like that.
I like that as well, man. Let's get some people's opinions, man, because we're going to drown in despair. Guys, people in the chat, I'm going to start bringing you all in one by one. Please have your questions and points ready so we can get as many people on as we can. Next is Tom Mizzy. I'm going to add him to the stream right now. Hello, my brother. Hope you're
Hello.
okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. First of all, Assalamualaikum to Bilal. Kaf, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, I was one of the stream earlier on, and I lose some of my sleeps for the past few weeks, obviously, just to stay up and watch Liverpool, and yeah, the result says everything. I have actually one question with regards to Liverpool, and then another point with football in general. But I'll touch on Liverpool because I'll try to be concise as I can. With Liverpool, one of my questions I'm asking is when Sadio Mane left, sometimes I think and ask myself, looking at the injuries now, because now it's kind of evident, especially on the left wing. Diogo Jota is injured. Darwin Núñez, who plays left wing, you could argue, and then Luis Diaz. So why I'm mentioning Sadio Mane is the availability, and he rarely get injured. But then it's just the change of the formation last season to the number 9 role that he featured towards the end of the last season is that he is like he knows how to look up to himself, but at the same time, the way our system operates, shall I say, the players around. So I feel like it feels this season that's the one thing that we're missing, shall I say, that the availability of that particular position. And I look at Mo Salah as well, that I could relate to, whereby Mo Salah, I think he's protected in a way that because he tries to, I think Kev touched upon this, one of the streams, tries to conserve himself at times, not running himself to the ground. So I don't know. This is just, I'm trying to figure it myself, what on finding out answers with relates to the left wing, and basically there's something going on, whether it's the tactical instructions or whether or not it's just purely down to the players' injury history or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my questions. And I think I should go to the another point, non-Liverpool point, which is in 8 years' time, probably we would see Saudi hosting the World Cup. We see a stepping stone with CR7 transfer to Al Nassr, and this is more of a concern from my point of view. The reason why I'm saying it's concern is I think last few days, if you guys didn't catch up the news about Ronaldo and his partner, that they are given an exception rule in Saudi to stay together. So my concern is specifically is that Saudi is going to change up the rules just for the World Cup. When you look at in Qatar last month, the one that I admire is that the ethos and the principles that the authority, the government, the Qatari government, whereby the AQL Grizz, I don't know if Big Steve has talked about it, but he said one of the streams that he admired with the restriction of the alcohol in the stadium. Of course, there are certain sections, because I personally watched the game myself at the hospitality, but then the crowd control and nothing ongoing, like all these outrageous incidents like other countries and all that and so forth. In Qatar, is pretty much safe wherever you're at, especially in and around the stadium. So my concern is, like I said, Saudi might change the rule if they'll be the host in 2030, and I probably guess that alcohol would be one of the thing whereby at the moment, as it stands right now in the Middle East, predominantly it's restricted, but that could be changed. Like nothing is possible, especially when the few days of the news about the exceptional rule to Ronaldo and his partner. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my point.
I'm gonna try to address the points that I think we're probably more qualified to speak on, as opposed to okay. So, and I think I speak for Bilal and Kav. So, and that's the first point you made. The second point, in terms of the country's policies and the rules and the laws, and how they are adaptable to certain people or changing for certain people, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Never mind in X amount of years, right? So I don't think we're equipped or qualified. I speak for myself, actually. If Bilal and Kav feel they're qualified to speak on that, then they can. But in terms of the footballing question, we're going to try to deal with it as much as we can, in depth as we can. Appreciate your call. Tamizi, we're going to try to talk about that right now, bro. We're going to try to keep it moving. Thank you very much, my friend.
Cheers, Tamizi.
Smash the likes. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Cheers,
look, in terms of the footballing aspect of what Tamizi asked, Sadio Mane, to me, Kav, it's quite simple. As hard as it is for people, as hard as it is for some Liverpool fans to accept, Sadio wanted to leave. And then when a player like that, coming to the end of his contract, won't sign a new deal, has told us a year and a half in advance, then that overrides any emotion of, how good is he for us? How durable is he for us? Because all of those points that Tamizi raised about him are spot on in terms of the profile of player, availability, big match player, big moments player, all of that. But once he turns to Jurgen Klopp and says, I want to move, I want to go, there's no holding him back in those situations, is there?
Yeah, we're powerless. The guy gave us his best years. He won it all with us. He conditioned himself. He looked after himself so well. He made himself available for almost every single game, rarely injured. Every single time he stepped on that pitch, he was willing to fight for the team. So, towards the end of his Liverpool career, it's fair to say he wasn't as good. He wasn't as effective. He got pushed out that left wing position and he went up top, and his games were a bit hit and miss. He did get goals, but I can remember the Leeds game where he missed about 10 chances and stuff. That did happen as well.
Yeah,
but he was a warrior, and he always fought, and that's what, I look at this team today even, and I think without Nunes, and I'm like, for all the criticism Nunes gets, at least he's a fighter in this team. At least he makes things happen. And that's what you could always guarantee with Mane. He'd never go missing. Never, I can't think of a game really off the top of my head, but I thought Mane didn't not make an impact, but he always tried. And I think you kind of don't realize that's gone until it's gone. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. But we couldn't keep him, quite simply. Like I say, he gave us his best years. He wanted a new challenge. He's got family over in Germany. It was a good opportunity to go to the best team over there, guaranteed titles. Why wouldn't he want to then go over there at that stage of his career? We were powerless, but that doesn't make it any easier in terms of what he gave us in performance-wise and his contributions to the team. People talk now about the midfield and Wijnaldum missing and wishing we didn't let him go or we replaced a like-for-like player. I'd say the same for Mane, to be honest. I know he weren't as clinical up top as he once was, weren't as pacey, weren't taking people on as he once was. But in terms of fit, available, intelligent in terms of the press and things like that, link up with Robbo, yeah, he'd still be a valuable member of the squad if he did stay. But times move on. you know, and we have to evolve, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Got a super chat from Ash, who was actually in the studio but had to pull out. I'm sorry I couldn't get you on in quick enough, my brother. He goes, Salaam alaikum, my brother Grizz, Bilal and Kav. My commiserations. Can't understand the fall of LFC on forefront 6 months ago to now. Is it saturation, no ambitions? Wish us luck to demolish Spurs tomorrow. Yes, you are definitely got our... I don't know what we want, Kav. Do you really care what you want tomorrow? But just for Bilal's sake,
Yeah, come on,
guess,
man.
Yeah,
As I said, I said it earlier. We got to stop Man City, man. Like, if they win? Was it 4 in a row? Come on, this has
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Sorry, 4
Nah,
in a row, no. My head's
I
going,
I don't want your team to win it, right? Because it reflects badly on us. Because just like when we were winning it, Arsenal, we were saying to Arsenal fans, "Well, what's your excuse?" And if you go and win it, you're going to say to Liverpool, "What's your excuse?" I ain't trying to hear that.
What's our opinion on it, though, Kav? Who do we think is favourites? I mean, are Arsenal not favourites yet? Surely.
There's a long way to go. There's a long way to go, and I've seen a lot of reaction to Man City and saying, "Oh, their era is." We're dragging Man City down with us. They're going, "Oh, the Liverpool Man City era is over." I'm like, well, there's evidence that Liverpool's might be, but why Man City? It's like,
I think it's because of you guys. We're just dragging it all together. We're like, it's done. It's all done. Let's move on.
It's a long way to go. You still got to play Man City twice. If they win both of them games, there'd be 2 points in it. Man City come good second half of the season. When they've got you in their sights, they go on some mad runs and it's like robot-like, and you're yet to experience that. But Arsenal are doing everything they should be doing up till now. So who knows? I just hope it goes right to the definite. It's exciting. I don't want you guys to run away with it and it just be over before.
May
I want us to run away with it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Every day watching Man City going transfer news now. Like, obviously, I think still we need 2 players. We need that midfielder, just like Liverpool need a midfielder, and we need a forward. Whether it's a wide player who can, for me, play left and right. You know, just to cover all those areas and just bolster the squad. Smith Rowe's back, Jesus will come back. Then you hope the squad starts looking good. But listen, for me, it depends on the signing still. Because think about Man City today. Akanji and Aki played, fair enough. But Diaz, Stones, Laporte all didn't play. You look at Grealish coming off the bench. Alvarez is about. Their squad is, you can just go on for days and days and days. So still, yeah, it's a long way to go. And there's so many big games coming up thick and fast, man.
Dean asks Grizz, where's the link? Can't find it. It's right at the top of the chat. I'm sure I pinned it. Can one of you check, guys? I'm sure I pinned it. If not, I'll put it in again. No? It's not pinned?
No, Grizz. Put it back in. Try again.
Oh, shit. Sorry. All right, let's get the next caller in while I do that. Oh, guys, man. Sorry. I was thinking the studio's gone empty now. Like, people... All right, I think I must have taken it away. Stupid me. But we got a couple of people waiting still. Let's get, I hope I've said it right, Dul Inco into the stream. Dul, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, good evening. I'm doing well. I hope you guys are well as well. Thank you for having me on. I don't really have a question, but if you allow me, I would like to complain a little bit, give a little bit of a rant.
The floor is yours, my brother. The floor is yours.
Because how bad was that? How embarrassing was that? And to be honest, it shouldn't really come as a surprise any longer, because we could kind of see this coming, in my opinion. We've been the reason for where we are, in my opinion, is because of Klopp being too loyal to players who do not deserve any loyalty anymore. I think it's because of the poor planning in the transfer market over the years, ever since we won the Champions League in 2019, I would say, and just running players into the ground and not replacing them in time. And I think that's culminated into the season that we're having right now. In hindsight, last season was the final hurrah of this team, I would say. And I think winning only 2 cups, quote unquote, and missing out on the big ones has kind of broken this team. And I don't think Klopp can get him back up anymore. But the way to go against that is by investing properly and on time. And I don't think the club have been doing that at all. And yeah, you reap what you sow. So it's sad, because I think it's unnecessary. I don't think we should have been in this position just by investing a little bit more over the years and being capable of saying goodbye to guys who have been great servants to the club, like Joe Gomez, like James Milner, Mykhaylo Ox, but telling them, look, thank you for what you've done, but we need to move on, we need to improve. And club has not been doing that. And yeah, I mean, this season is kind of a write-off. I know we still have the Champions League, but if I'm going to be honest, I think Real Madrid will play us off the park, like they have been doing, like they have been beating us for a couple of times now. And I don't see a way out of this except for FSG selling the club and getting a rich owner who is willing to invest properly. I think that's the only way we can get back to the top, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I guess news has gone quiet on the takeover. And yeah, Klopp looks like a beaten man, and it's sad to see because he is a legend at the club. He is one of the greatest managers we have had, but I'm afraid he's going to walk, and I want to see FSG out before I want to see Klopp out of Liverpool. And if he leaves the club, I think we are in big trouble if FSG don't sell up to an owner who is willing to invest into the club. So yeah, I guess I don't have a question, but I want to know what you guys think. Where do you see the light at the end of the tunnel? I guess you say it in English. And yeah, that's about it. It's a sad day, it's a sad season, but let's hope we can still qualify for top four, although it does seem to be a very difficult story. So yeah.
You don't need to question. What you said is come on and spoken your heart and how you feel, and you're absolutely right and entitled to do that. This is exactly what the aim of the show is, to speak how you want to speak, to say how you want to say it. How, don't listen, don't care about our opinions, respect our opinions, but don't care. You say what you want to say. And I think you said whatever you needed to say very well. And this is just one of the people that agreed with you. Everyone was saying facts when you were speaking. The majority of people absolutely agreed with everything you said. I'm so rude. I didn't even ask, where are you calling from, brother?
I'm calling from the Netherlands.
Amazing.
Oh,
welcome. I always like to know where everyone is calling from, so because everyone is welcome.
I'm Moroccan myself, but I was born here and I grew up here.
Oh, so, amazing! What a year for you then, hey?
Yeah,
wow,
it's been great. We are so proud of the boys. So
absolutely,
hopefully it continues.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wanna come to Bilal first because everything Dul said reminds me a little bit of the Wenger end days, and we were speaking off camera about the Wenger end days, where a lot of people started getting angry with him for defending the owners way too much, being protective. And I think Dul is trying to say that Klopp at points is becoming a bit protective of the ownership as well.
Yeah.
But even though he's making mistakes, we would by far want the owners to go before the manager. But there's a point where it starts becoming really dangerous, doesn't it? So it starts off like this: owners out, Klopp safe, and then when you realize over time, and this is the first season that there's been anything untoward Klopp, but let's just say another season, right? It starts getting close, because if the owners ain't budging like your owners weren't budging, it had to be Wenger then, innit? It comes to a point where you realize, shit, the owners are here to stay. I don't believe ours are, but I'm just saying, you just don't want to get into that territory where, because if Klopp, because look at Ferguson, look at Wenger, look how long it took Arsenal and United to get back to the levels without an elite coach.
Yeah, listen, for the Arsenal situation, and obviously, I think because Arsenal, Liverpool are in that situation where, we're big clubs, but at the same time, you see the likes of Chelsea now, you see the Man City, you see Man United, the way they can just splash money. Our clubs have never really been able to operate like that. And for Arsenal, for the longest time, of course, moving to the Emirates was the first thing that came, the debt that came. And, I think at the beginning, for the most part, I think majority of Arsenal fans were fine for like even 6 to 8 years. We're just having weird players coming into the team, the likes of the Nilsons and all of these sort of players coming in, and Wenger somehow getting them into the top 4, maybe getting somewhere in the Champions League. But then at the end of the day, it comes to that point where, it's not easy to get the owners out. We've done Kroenke out protests. There was a time with the Kroenkes, and I'm not sure if you're familiar as well with Usmanov, who ended up buying Everton in the end, right? There was that tug of war between the two owners, who's going to take over the club. That hampered the club as well. So at the same time, there was debt, ownership battles, and then Kroenkes ended up taking over the club, and towards the end, I think 2018 fully took over the club. But yeah, that whole time, it got to the point where Wenger is, yes, he's defending the owners. Yes, he was treating the club like it was his own, baby. He treated that club where every penny that came out, every penny that was spent, he knew about it, right? He really looked at the day to day. With Jurgen Klopp, I think it's not to that point. It's not to that same extent as Arsene Wenger, and that's why I think the Liverpool fans have faith in Klopp more, because they know if.
Well, listen, no, you made a very good point there. I like what you just said there. You don't believe at the moment, and I'll come to Cav and I'll let Dul has his final say on it, right?
Okay.
Cav, that's a very good point Bilal's made there. He doesn't think from the outside. Obviously, us three are Liverpool fans. Bilal's an Arsenal fan, Dul, yeah? So
I know.
So Cav, he doesn't think that Jurgen Klopp is at that level of where Wenger totally treated it like his own baby and so protective of the owners and the club that it started messing with his decision making and whatever. How far is Klopp from that?
Oh, that's a really tough question, because
I'm here. Listen, I'm gonna get asked some tough questions over the next week. I need to take some revenge, man. I need to ask you lot some tough questions so I know the answers to go onto other platforms and give them these answers. So help me.
Yeah. Do you know what? Okay, I'll put it like this. He could be really brainwashed by the owners and trying to protect them and trying to do every deflection tactic when he's asked in, probing questions in press conferences and things like that. He might be deflecting and getting angry and trying to just, avoid answering the honest truths. But then I see him and he's like encouraging, celebrating, doing the parade after Champions League final. After we lost the final before, he's in the pub singing with the fans. He feels like he's done too much and is too connected to us people to really be disillusioned by what's going on by FSG. I think he's just caught in between a rock and a hard place. His team's not playing well, and he's also not getting the support he probably wants from up and above. And he's trying to protect everybody. I suggested on, I think the RedFellas did the week, that I think Klopp's trying to protect his fans. He probably knows there's not money there. He probably knows that this club needs investment to really get back to where it needs to be. But he doesn't want to say it. He needs to retain that. He needs the fans to still have hope and to go out and say, because football fans are intelligent. They know what's going on. They see it, right? He's not going to come out and just blatantly obvious go, I've got no money to spend, guys. This squad we've got now is what we've got. Probably might be what we've got next season. Everybody would just give up. And you can't afford to lose fans and give up. So I think he's trying to play a lot of fields right now and keep everybody happy. But the only thing with that is he's suffering. And by him suffering, that negatively affects the team, because we've seen it in the tactical setups and this and that. It's like, yo, bro, you just need to just clear your head. Take a week off. Give it frigging Pep or Jose or whatever for a week. Just have a holiday, clear your head, look at all that's going on, come back and let's go again. He feels like, I said it, he's in the eye of the storm. And I don't know, maybe he is protecting FSG too much, but it's hard to say.
I honestly think managers, modern day managers as well, and I've always put Klopp as like a 1.5 kind of manager. Like you have the old schools with the Fergies and the Wengers, but then you got the Klopp who's got that old school, but he's not part of that generation. So these sort of managers now, they don't have that same level of, I'd say, influence, but definitely Klopp's has increased since, the restructuring 100%, of the club. And 100%. That's the reason now where he's going to get more pressure, because everyone knows that, listen, we saw reports when Liverpool were restructuring and getting new players in and saying, yes, Jurgen Klopp is leading the charge and all of this sort of stuff. Things start going a little bit wrong. I know Pep Linders has been getting pelted left, right, and center, right? He's been getting a lot of the flack for things going on at Liverpool. So I can see now when you hear stories like, yes, Jurgen Klopp, he's got more power at the club. He's going to be doing X, Y, and Z. That I understand that some fans are going to be saying, listen, we want to see something different, something change, because clearly you have more influence, more say. But at the same time, I would go back and say, listen, I still don't think, even if he's got extra sort of power or whatever, I saw his press conference the other day where he's talking about signings, and he said, listen, you think we don't want to, basically saying, you think I don't want to sign players, essentially, I think, just paraphrasing him. Of course he wants to sign players. He sees Pep Guardiola getting Erling Haaland and all of these sort of players. You think he's like, no, I don't want that. I'll just let me stay with this player and that player. No, he wants that as well. But at the end of the day, he is being hampered, let's be honest, by FSG and what's been happening over the last year. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out. I think the next 6 months are going to be key, regardless of results on the pitch. I think whatever happens off the pitch is now more
Just
important
as
than what happens
equal,
on the
just
pitch.
as equal, if not
Do you
more.
know what though?
Yeah.
Just quickly, Grizz, if I may. Do you know what, Bilal, with that? A lot of people are like FSG out because they're not investing and giving Klopp enough. And I agree. I want signings. I want them to invest more. But like, could you imagine Klopp, right? He's got this team that competed for 4 trophies last season. Won 2 of them. Okay. He got almost close to £100 million in the summer to spend. He spent most of that on a forward. And then he's had a midfield crisis through injury. Got over that. He's now got a forward crisis, granted. But he's going to FSG in this January transfer window going, I need more money because I'm in 8th position. And they'll be like, well, hold on a minute. We've been getting 90 plus season points. You know, you wanted these players. I got you these players over time. You want to pay on the salaries. I pay on the salaries. Just give Mo Salah a big one. You want a salary. You're one of the best coaches in the world. I pay you a salary. Your coaches want a bigger salary and contract extension. I gave you that. Right? You told me we've got all these so-called experts and you're an expert. How about you do your job better first and get this team back to where they should be? And if they can't get back to where they should be, at least get on 4th, because this squad should be 4th. And then we'll talk about investment. So just playing devil's advocate, I just think maybe FSG are looking at it going, well, hold on a minute. I ain't throwing more money at this until the people I'm already paying start doing better. Do you know what I mean? Just playing devil's advocate.
I hear that because go on.
Well, no, let's keep it moving because the studio's full and the signal's coming up. More people want to enter the studio. Dole, very quickly, sir. What's your final aspirations, hopes for the remainder
for the season?
Of the
you
season?
Mean?
Yeah, for the season and for the club, ownership, coach.
Well, obviously, getting top 4 would be I think the best result we can get this season because, like I said, I don't believe we can win the Champions League. Maybe a cup run, although Wolves is going to be tricky in the upcoming weeks. So I'll just stick to top 4 for now, but it's looking very difficult. I mean, guys, we're 10 points behind United. Who would have thought that after last season? 10 points behind. You know,
I need another coffee.
Exactly. I'm gonna get myself a coffee as well after I'm done here. So I think that's it. I hope we can get top 4. Do I believe we'll get top 4? Probably not, but we have to hope, you know. So let's see what happens in the next few weeks. And yeah, thank you for having me on. Keep doing you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
You DM'd me, didn't you? Because we had some mix-up
on Twitter. Yes, because of yeah.
Now I recognize.
Okay,
great to have you on stream, my brother. Look
yeah, thank you for having me. Good evening, guys.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. A lot of these callers, man, I love their takes, man. You can't argue, man. They're making sense every time they speak. That's what I love about my calling shows, man. GD says, for selling the club, do you think Klopp has gone from value add in a sale to a liability? What does he mean by that, Kev?
He means that's not that. He's basically saying Klopp was a factor maybe of someone wanting to buy Liverpool, but now with him and Liverpool performing badly, is he a negative?
Oh, no.
But it can't be. And at the end of the day, it's just a manager's salary isn't the same as a player at the same time. So it can't even. It's not even a factor if you want to buy a club.
AJ Jammer says he should have signed midfielders instead of attackers. How about both? How about both? Like, I disagree that he should have not signed an attacker this month because I think it was vital, especially with our injury situations. Today has just shown you we were nowhere. I got a headache, man. Don't. Why are we doing talking about today? But overall, he needs to buy midfielders, man. Overall, I agree with you. Yadvindra says, Grizz, please, any takeover news? Tomorrow will be the show on. I will be sharing anything I know about takeover stuff and whatnot. Today is a call-in show. Appreciate the support. There will be news tomorrow, and I'll share what I know. Let's get the new caller in. Who's next, man? I said it in the chat, the order. Dean. Okay, we got Dean in the building. Dean, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, how's it, guys? Can you guys hear me? Really?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. How are you?
Welcome, Dean.
Yeah, I'm good. You're
gonna have to turn the volume down in the background because we're gonna get echo. There's an echo. We can hear ourselves.
Is the echo?
Yeah, we can hear ourselves.
No, I don't have anything. Okay, let me change the mic
here. Guys,
yeah, I don't know if you're playing us as well on YouTube or something in the background. Yeah, not too sure.
Oh, it's better now. We can't hear it now.
Can we hear him? Can we hear you
Say
too?
something, Dean.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Go for it.
Yes. So I have so much to say, man. I wish I had more time. So all this time I'd say this on the other stream, Jamie's stream. There is a reason why. There's one thing that people are missing about FSG and Klopp. This is the thing, right? FSG could have picked any other manager when they wanted a new manager after they sacked the other manager, right? They could have gone for anyone, but there's a reason why they chose Klopp, which people have been missing. If you look at Klopp's track record, Klopp is not a big money spender at all. Look at what he did with Mainz. He had like a work team, which he trained and coached, and then they became better. Same thing with Dortmund. He got them to Champions League, and Dortmund were like a mid-table team. He didn't really buy any expensive players. He worked with what he had. So he's very good at that. It's taking his time, getting cheap players there, and then he improves them. He's very good at identifying good players and like system players, right? That's the reason why they got him. And here at Liverpool, he knows that his job is safe because according to whatever they agree, I don't know the contract, but for me, I feel like he knows that they're not going to spend any money. He knows that it was going to be a sell and buy system. He knows only if maybe it's very, very important. That's the only time they'll like spending money, like what we did with Nunes, Van Dijk, or all these other players that we spend a lot of money on. You can see from when he started, his ambition was not to compete like against Man City. It's like, okay, we're gonna ease like 4 years, 5 years, we have one title. It's like he's a building. He likes building stuff. It's not like I'm gonna go. It's not a Mourinho. It's not your Contes. It's not your Peps. It's like he wants to create like a relationship with the. Look at what he did. Yes, he's a project manager, exactly. So as much as we want him to be like he's playing football manager like Pep and all that, we know it's not in him because he knows when you buy big money players. I'm just assuming when you buy big money players, they come with ego. They are very difficult to control because they are like superstars. So because he wants people who listen. He wants people who, even if you don't play for the whole month, he doesn't want you to complain. He wants those type of players who never look at what we had this wonder kid. If you know Mykhaylo, that boy can literally is better than Elliot. We can see the way he plays. When he got this professional contract, what the rumors are he asked for more game time, and there's nowhere to be seen. He got dropped immediately because Klopp doesn't want that. He doesn't want players to go to him and say, "Coach, play me, coach this, coach that." He's that type of a manager, and the relationship that he has with FSG is strong because he is the boss, and they understand his gameplay. They are fine with what he's been doing. That's why they can't sack him. That's why his job is not in danger because they don't have, even back then, they didn't have high expectations. It's only the work ethic that he put in for us to win all the trophies and all that. But they never said, we want you to win the league or want you. The way he said, that's why he said, okay, in 4 years or 5 years, we have maybe one title, whatever. He knows like, oh, it's a project I'm building. So even rebuilding, he's been rebuilding. You can see that he bought all these young players, but it took him time to do so because he doesn't feel the need to just, okay, fine, things are not working out. Let me go and fix the because all our midfielders, Grizz, they are not injured. We've got all our midfield, maybe Atal. Atal is the only, but he's not really our midfielder because he never really played for us. But they're all available, but they're just shit. And he doesn't want to admit because they worked for him. They've done a great job. And only last season we were competing for 4 trophies. So he doesn't. For him, he thinks they can't just drop overnight. Last season they were playing like full throttle, but now all of a sudden it's a mentality thing. But it's not. He doesn't know that you can. I play football. You can literally drop in 1 year and never come back or recover again, or even a few months. Especially if you get injured a lot, right? You come from there. Look at Ox. Ox came on. He was a squad player, but every time he played, he did something. But now, because of the injuries, nothing. Since he came back, he's not really offering anything. So I feel like as much as people never call out Klopp, as much as we expect Klopp to do things differently, I don't think he's ever going to do anything different because he's okay with his system and he's that stubborn. That's why it never worked. He had to quit at Dortmund. He had to quit because he didn't know what to do anymore because he already made the owners believe that he can, that's how it works.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, you told me that you're gonna do buy and sell. We're not gonna spend a lot of money. We're gonna groom players. All of a sudden, you're asking for more money. Why are you changing the term? That's not what we agreed upon. So from the owner's perspective, so it's for him now to go to FSG to say, hey, now I want money. Now let's change the system and all that. That's why for him, he's working with what he's got. He knows probably, but he doesn't want to admit it because he also, when he speaks the way he speaks, defending the players and the owners and stuff. One last point. He doesn't want them to lose that. Okay, so we're gonna be replaced. We're gonna be replaced. Some new players are gonna come in. He wants them to still feel like they have a part to play in the squad. So I wish I had more time, but man, it's very painful.
Dean,
I hate to admit it, but yeah, man.
Dean, I'm the one who's sorry that you haven't got more time.
Yeah.
It's a call-in show. I'm the one who's sorry. You've made some wonderful points there. I think I understood most of your points, and I'm going to try to address as many as I can. Very, very welcome.
Yeah.
Try to call in next time.
Thank you, brother.
It's so busy tonight. I'm trying to give everyone a few minutes, but
I know, man. I'm enjoying the stream.
You made some brilliant points, sir. Thank you very much. Where are you calling from?
Thank you, brother. I'm in South Africa, brother.
Big up South Africa, man. Big up South Africa every time. Nice one. All right.
Cheers,
Look
Dean.
after yourself. Take care.
Cheers. Big up.
Dean made some points there, and I know where he was coming from, and I know where he was going with it as well. And again, it was one of the talking points for the agenda tomorrow, Cav. But we've kind of touched upon it before as well, where we talk about Jurgen Klopp's history and the clubs that he's been at, and what are the expectations of those clubs he's been at from the start to the end of his tenure. So from Mainz, it was to get promoted and solidify their position. From Dortmund, it was to become from not mid-table, but just like a Newcastle, sort of thing. No, maybe not Newcastle, but I don't, you know what I mean? Maybe
a challenger, but to make them really do something.
Spurs, maybe a Spurs,
Yeah, they haven't really won much in the history. They only won the Champions League, but in terms of league titles, they only won 4, and 2 of them.
Yeah, but people know what we mean. Yeah. People don't nitpick if I use the wrong example, but to make them viable challengers against Bayern Munich, and he'd done that. And what he's suggesting is when he came to Liverpool, our owners at that time were going through pretty much, they've gone through a rough initiation with Dalglish and Rodgers and whatnot, right? And they were probably looking for a project manager who's going to take them back to the top echelons, not ruthless winners again and again and again, but back to the top, and then we'll assess the situations. I think he made a few fair points with that regards.
Definitely, yeah. No, he's dead right. There's similarities in every club he's been to, whereby it's build the team, build it. The expectation is to get us to compete with the best, as Klopp puts himself, not be the best, so to speak. We don't want the best players. We want the players that are good enough to compete with the best, and all this and that, right? I'm paraphrasing. And that's what he does. He's been successful in that. This is, the second time round where he's got a club to, the heights of their league, respectively. And at Dortmund, he felt like he couldn't take it on anymore, where they were, in his 7th season, where they did have injuries and he couldn't quite figure it out and he decided to leave. We're now at that point with Liverpool, got us to the top, credit where credit's due. He achieved his targets. Now the expectations changed. The expectations risen. It's to maintain that. And there's an age-old saying that it's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay at the top. And I think that much is probably true. And I think we always think that because you can get 1 or 2 players in and you develop your style slightly, but actually you can have seasons, as we've seen, where so many players drop off and that system that was always reliable for you just doesn't work. And when you're an experienced manager, often what experienced managers have over newbies is they always have fallbacks to go back to. They can fall back to a tactic. They can fall back to an experience they previously had and find out what worked for them and go back to that. When them fallbacks don't start working, then you start asking questions. And I think when he keeps talking about we have to go back to basics, and he's dead right, we have to go back to basics. But if them basics don't work, that might be the point where he thinks, I might need to just leave this. But very good question in terms of expectation and how FSG themselves have their expectations changed. Dean mentioned there that Klopp knew what he was buying into. The process has always kind of been the same in that we're not coming in like Todd Bowley and buying everybody and hijacking deals and throwing money at it. It's always been to develop a squad, spend as little as possible, get players on the cusp of peaking, get the maximum out of every single player and staff that you can. Nothing's changed, Klopp.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed from their plan.
Yeah.
Our aspirations and our expectancy has changed because of Jurgen Klopp doing a tremendous job in alliance with them. And now we expect to not be in this position again. My God, this is like 5, 6. This is what Jurgen Klopp took over. So therefore, we're in a state of shock right now. So now what needs to change? You're right. There's a few ways out of this. There's a few things that can happen here. Is FSG say, well, hey, we never said anything. We haven't done anything that we didn't say we're going to do. Do you know what I mean? We are where we are. Jurgen Klopp changes his, what's the word? Levels or
maybe targets.
Targets. That's what I meant. Sorry. Yeah. Targets, expectations, demands. Demands is the one. Maybe Jurgen Klopp changes his demands, and then we get a clash. What I mean by a clash. Then we know where the buck really stops. Like, are they going to be flexible? Is he going to be flexible, and how it's going to move forward? Just a few super chats before we get, because there's loads of other callers that coming in as well. Because I didn't have the stream up. I was thinking, where's everyone gone then? I didn't have the stream up. Amir says, glass half empty. We are 9th in the league. Glass half full. We are 7 points from top 4 right now. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Amir, I rate you for the glass half full version. It's very difficult to see a half full version, man. As much as I would love to. Grizz, you still think you can finish second? Yeah. No, I can't. Thank you for the super chat. Battery says, our intensity rock bottom like it's in Cav's book pile.
Your Klopp's on the bottom. Maybe that's what's changed. I'll stick Klopp's.
That's some eyesight there, man. That's some eyesight there. People are sharp, man. People are sharp. Let's get the next caller in, man. We got Enz in the building. Enz, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, man. Big up to you guys. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, my brother.
Enz is my boy, by the way.
Oh, okay. Connected, connections here. Okay.
Listen, Cav knows everyone in this world at the moment.
Good stuff.
I had a few points, but you guys kind of touch on it, so I've got to come up with some.
No. Say what you got to say, bro. You want to talk about.
I've been on a few streams and I've done a few myself, and the question I've been asking everyone is, this Klopp in and outs kind of agenda, or is that what the fans want? So the question is, everyone keeps saying that they want change from the football club and they want to see something new. They want to see tactics. They want to see the other players that's not being given a chance get their chance. But at the same time, we say we don't want Klopp to go. So as fans, do we need to just go, do you know what? Klopp's done us well for the last 7 years. Is it time to get someone in with fresh ideas so we can have a different voice in the training camp, a different approach in terms of how we set up when we play, your Man Cities, your Chelseas, your Arsenals, because something isn't right at the moment. I feel the players at the moment are probably fed up listening to the same voice. I don't think they've down tools, but I think they're fed up in terms of we're hearing Klopp's voice week in, week out, giving us the same information. We're going into the game using the same tactics. When you got players like Thiago coming from, he's played for top clubs like Barcelona, Bayern Munich. He's come from managers that set up differently against different opponents. They've never set up the same. So, honestly, I just think we as a fan base, we need to decide and stop doing this on the fence thing and go, do you know what? For the betterment of our club, do we need to change the manager and then go with someone different and then go forward from there? Or do we keep Klopp and then stop moaning about what he's doing at the moment? Because all we're doing is moaning, but saying we don't want him to go. So, I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that is.
It'd be good to get an Arsenal fans opinion on this, and obviously Cav can give his opinion. For me, very much, it's careful what you wish for. My first one, me personally, again, just me personally, and B, I think there's legitimate questions of Jurgen Klopp rebuilding his side, and I made that very clear on all my shows and wherever I'm asked to speak on. That I think there's legitimate questions of Jurgen Klopp if he's got the ability to, or the ruthlessness, call it whatever you want, the skills to rebuild a team that he's built. And I think that's absolutely fair. If you ask me right now, I have no evidence, I have no proof that he can rebuild because he didn't do it at Mainz, he didn't do it at Dortmund. But I still want him to be given the opportunity to do it at Liverpool. In order for him to do it at Liverpool, he will need new investment, whether that's FSG investing, which ain't going to happen, or new owners that are willing to back him. That's my opinion and state of play on the thing. Used to.
Yeah, from my perspective, right, looking at Klopp as a manager, just as a manager, and I look at him compared to the other managers in the league, the reason I say he's like a 1.5 of that generation of the Wenger and Fergie is because he's got a modern system. When it works, is definitely can go toe-to-toe with any team still in Europe. But the moment it doesn't work, like we're seeing now, I think it becomes difficult for him to change. And that's where I feel like, I know Fergie was great at changing, but more so Wenger was someone who couldn't really adapt and things started going, the way he didn't want it to go. You look at managers now like Ten Hag at Manchester United, De Zerbi today, Brighton, you see the football that they play. It might honestly be pound for pound, maybe the best in the Premier League. So I want to give Brighton some credit on that.
100%. We haven't done that enough, actually. I know I'm a Liverpool fan. It's predominantly a Liverpool channel, but really no, we speak on a lot of clubs, and yeah, man, like put some serious respect on Brighton. Serious respect.
Yeah, and honestly, the way they play football, and then I look at even teams like Wolves, Aston Villa, Unai Emery, Lopetegui, the Unai Emery versus Klopp in European finals, we've seen it. Emery's got the better of Klopp at times, right? Sevilla, I'm pretty sure Europa League final, they did Liverpool, right, in one of those finals early on when Klopp came in. You look at these managers, I feel like some of them are able to be more tactically flexible. I think that's the word I'm looking for than Klopp. Klopp isn't as flexible as a lot of these other managers that we're seeing in the Premier League. And it depends now if Liverpool are willing, obviously, and I think the fan sentiment as well, the owners, even the players would all want Klopp to stay and give him a chance to rebuild the team. Right now, he hasn't got that chance. It feels like to even rebuild the team because the investment, especially in the midfield area, hasn't come. So you can't really say, has he really got a fair shot at doing this Liverpool 2.0 and seeing where they can maybe go next season? So yeah, it's fair enough. You want to give him that chance. But at the end of the day, I understand some people who would say, listen, there's managers right now available. Thomas Tuchel still available. Luis Enrique is still available. And maybe they are more tactically more flexible in some ways. Maybe Enrique less so because obviously he wants to play his 4-3-3 and he'll stick to it, trying to be we saw it in the Indian World Cup with Spain. But someone like Tuchel, we saw him go into Chelsea January. They were dead. They were done, right? He managed to make a team that was looking poor, very defensively sound, and ended up even winning them the Champions League. Towards the end, yes, we know the football they were playing. It ended up getting a bit untenable, Maybe Chelsea sacked him too early, in my opinion. They did. But it's one of those ones. It all depends on how Liverpool feel. Is the attachment, is the feeling that you owe Klopp one season, maybe at least to rebuild the team stronger, than we need results now, and then maybe just switching it up and bringing in a top manager as well, like a Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure would obviously take the Liverpool job if it was offered to him.
Cav, I know you probably discussed this with Ens, knowing that your guys are friends, but go on, let's hear it as well.
I think if you're going to say Klopp out and think somebody else can come in, that's totally valid because he's not been performing well this season. But you've got to give us a name as to who you think can come in and do better. Bilal just dropped one there. Tuchel, yeah, could possibly come in and do a job. I'd go as far as to say, you know what, if he come in for the remainder of the season, he'll probably do a better job than Klopp. I think if Poch come in, he'd probably do a better job than Klopp for the remainder of the season. But it's beyond that. It's beyond that. We don't just want to go out there and get top four. And the best you're going to get if you have like Tuchel here for the remainder of the season and next season is maybe a cup or maybe challenge for the title or whatever. But with Klopp, we've seen that he can build title-winning teams. He can build Champions League winning teams. He's won it all. And we're thinking that it would just be a transition. If it's not going to be a transition and it's a full rebuild, we've seen a full rebuild from Klopp. So the evidence is there. What's different this time around, though, is when Klopp first come in, we had full hope behind him. Got the fans on side, doubters to believers. Everyone was pushing in the same direction. It was new, it was fresh. Players were coming in and at the right age profile, all of this and that. Whereas this time around, it's like fans are going to have that little doubt in their mind. They're going to be less patient because we've been at the top in recent history, you know. And I think how much backing is he going to get from everybody that he had the first time round? That's the thing that might change this time. But I think he's got too much credit in the bank, to be honest with you. In terms of what he's won, he's proved that he can be successful at this club. And look, it's not just him. It's not just him. We've got the ownership thing at the minute. We've got the players that, let's be fair, you know, they need to get some accountability for how they've been performing as well. You know, there's so much change in the club that you're just like, you just want an element of settle. We want to know what's going on with the ownership. We want to know what's going on with, you know, Julian Ward's replacement and the recruitment team. Let's just get settled again and let's assess this from a neutral point of view, as opposed to chucking Klopp out at the minute when there's so many plates spinning. So that's why I'm a bit like hesitant to make such a massive change at this moment in time. And I'm hoping tomorrow, Grizz, you're going to tell us on RedFellas something about the ownership or something, but we just need a moment. Yeah, I don't want to chop the manager now for short-term success. I'm thinking long-term.
And I want to hear your opinion. Obviously, you asked the question, but I think there's more that you want to say. So I want to ask you the question. So obviously, Cavs mentioned the players, the ownership, the background stuff, Klopp. Like there's 4 or 5 aspects of a club that needs to be. Pretty much everything has to be on point for it to be operating at the levels that we've operated. So what's your opinion in terms of who's to blame at the so what's your hierarchy? Give us your opinion. So, answer your own question, basically.
So the problem is, I looked around the fan base, and personally, everyone said, it's the owners. And then I took a step back from it, and I was like, do you know what? It could be them. Then I was like, no, actually, the manager is the one that sets the team up. He's the one that sets the tactics. He picks the starting lineup. He's on the sideline. The owners are not at the games. They're probably doing other things. You know, they're just allowing the guys to run their business for them. So whether or not they care about the result, I don't know. But Klopp is the one that's there, and he's the one running the team. I think what's happening at the moment with him, he's got to a point in his career where he doesn't. I don't even know if he knows what his best 11 is at the moment. The tactics that he's using doesn't suit our club anymore because he likes this robust, you know, we're going to go box to box kind of midfield. We're playing against a lot of teams now with more technically gifted players. Man City now has them. Arsenal, Chelsea looks like they're trying to go in that ilk. Newcastle, I'm pretty sure, will start doing that as well. Man United, they've got these technically gifted players that can score from midfield, but can also do that box to box work. Where the reason why I'm saying we need to think about maybe replacing the manager is the fact is, do we carry on in this way and do the Wenger thing where we're sentimental and we think, do you know what, Klopp, last 5 years, won us loads of trophies. He brought us the first Premier League. He won us the Champions League. He's brought us the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and then do the sentimental thing and year in, year out, but we're only finishing second and maybe picking up 1 trophy. While Arsenal was able to catch us, Newcastle were going to go past us. Man United has now caught us in the space of a season. Man City, they're always going to be there because they spend money. So I just honestly feel that it's time for him to replace the manager. And if we're talking about the owners, what if we get new owners and what if they don't want Klopp as a manager? Because if you look at what Bowley's done at Chelsea, he's come in and stuck and put the fork in the ground and gone, do you know what? These are the players I want to get in. I want to show you guys as like the club and the fans. I want to get these top players in. So with Klopp's personality, and he doesn't like those big egos in the club, what if the new owners come in and go, do you know what? I want you to go and get an Mbappe. And then Klopp turns around and says no. What then? Do we just go on? Sorry, mate.
No, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
No. So do we then go, you know what, Klopp, you need to go and get these players because they're going to help us win trophies? Or do we keep with that same sentimental thing where, no, Klopp knows what he's doing. He's done it for 5 years. He's kept these non-ego players in the team, built a great harmony. But at the same time, bro, I don't want to keep finishing second. And I don't want to just keep winning 1 trophy every other year. And now I looked like it was us and City for 5 years. And now every other team is now back in the fold. So I can't see how Klopp is going to fix this issue. Honestly, I don't see how he does.
I'm just going to play devil's advocate and possibly give you a bit of my opinion. So it's not pure devil's advocate because I probably agree with what I'm going to say. So
you're calling yourself the devil.
So yeah, exactly. So take from that what you will. So but so when Klopp took over, he took over in a similar situation we find ourselves right now. 7 years ago, yeah. So again, we were at a situation where we didn't have the finances of all the big boys that you just mentioned. Plus now Chelsea and Newcastle on top of that we already had to face. Man United always got money, they're an institution. Man City, we know what's happening over there. Who else? Arsenal got money as well now, ownership, right? So we've got all those teams plus Newcastle plus Chelsea with new money, yeah? So we find ourselves in a similar situation 7 years ago. What was your expectations of Klopp, if you don't mind me asking you, and be honest? Because we don't know, unless Cav knows your opinions were at the time.
I don't think we ever had that conversation, to be fair.
Okay.
So when Klopp first came in, my expectation, I really wanted him as our manager, first and foremost.
Okay. Based on what?
It was what I saw at Dortmund, because I'm a football fan.
What did you see at Dortmund?
He brought the club together. He brought the fan base together. He brought the ownership in terms of everything felt like a unity as a club. Everyone was going in the same direction. So I was like, do you know what? That's what we're missing at Liverpool, because the fan base that we have, no matter what happens, we kind of stick together and we go in the same direction. Whether or not a player's rubbish, he's good, the owner's good, the players, the manager's rubbish, we kind of stick together. So when he came in, I wanted that.
Okay. Is there going to be short, sharp questions?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So that's fair enough, and you've been honest. So in those 7 years, is it fair to say, because he found us right now here in this situation, didn't he? Yeah. Similar situation. Were we 8th or whatever we are? Fuck knows, man. Yeah. But again, we've got clubs that are seemingly catching up or ahead of us. Seemingly, we've got a poor aging squad, similarly to 7 years ago. Okay. So is it fair to say, no? How long did you want to give Klopp to turn that around? And again, be honest, because we don't know. Unless I stalk your media.
Yeah,
which I got no intention of. I got no intention of. So how long did you want to give Klopp to turn it around?
Personally, when I looked at the squad we had and compared to the teams that we was playing against then, I said probably 2 years. I think 2 years was enough. If we got four windows, that should be enough to fix the issues.
And when you say fix, what level? So were you looking to win the league and Champions League within 2 years?
I know. I was
get us competing.
It was more competing, but at the same time, I was looking at the clubs then. Arsenal wasn't a problem. It was mainly Chelsea, maybe Man United, and
I hear you.
Man City was in and around it because
I hear you 100%, and I agree with you. So you gave us 2 years, and we had a couple of teams in competition with us. Yeah. Within 2 years, he's got us winning the league and the Champions League. The third year, we reached the Champions League final. No, we won the Champions League final the third year. By the fourth year, I think we've won the league. Yeah. And since the second year that you've said 2 years you're giving him to rebuild, we've won every single trophy there is to win. We've reached 90 points 3 times now out of those 7 seasons, but 2 seasons were a rebuild, according to you, according to me, according to most rational, logical Liverpool fans. Yeah. He done all that in the last 5 years, apart from that mad season where we had no centre-back available for any part of the game, right? Apart from that 1 year, he's been at the very, very highest level, winning trophies, whether they're domestic, European, and scoring heavy points up against a state nation, whatever, within limited funds. He's the seventh only. We're big Liverpool, but yet we're the 7th highest net spenders. Yeah, his one arm has been tied. Let's say, yeah. So after 7 years, now finally it's got to a point where we're saying that we're back. Are we saying first and foremost that we're back at that level? Like the value of the club has gone down again? Are we looking to finish, do you reckon, 6th to 8th? Or are we thinking, okay, it's a fucking rough patch again. This is bad. Or are we saying, what I'm trying to say is if he's won every trophy the last 5 years with the limitations that he's got, not being able to spend money, at what point are you not willing to give him another chance to rebuild again with fresh money? Because if you're saying sack him, because look, let's not mince our words. You're saying sack him. Say it, man. Say it with your chest. No problem.
Nah,
say it.
listen,
if you believe that, you believe that. No one can argue with you. Yeah.
I've not said yet about sacking him.
Okay.
All I've said is we need to start going and stop.
100%. 100%. But I think you're favouring the sack. Just my 6 cents.
Cool.
Slap me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like virtual slap. But I think you're saying get rid of him now. Yeah. Mostly you're favouring that. New manager comes in. Let's just say a name, Luis Enrique. But he's working within the same restraints, or I don't know, Tuchel, yeah? How are we, with any confidence and authority, saying that Thomas Tuchel, with the restraints that Jurgen Klopp has had, who has proved that he'd done it within 5 years, are now we're saying, armed with fresh money, another man will do a better job? How can we say that, do you think? Based on what?
No, so I think that's a sentimental thing, because who's not to say that another manager doesn't come in and have us playing better football than what we've been playing?
Okay, I didn't say better football. I didn't say better football. Okay. You now want to be at the very highest of the echelons again.
Yeah.
You want to win, yeah? We all know football comes in cycles.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, every club has about 5 to 7 to 8 years, yeah? Now we've just discussed that those teams are still there that we discussed 7 years ago. Now we've got Newcastle, Chelsea with fresh money. Arsenal have risen again. After how long, Bilal? Arsenal have risen after how long?
20 odd years. I'll answer that.
Yeah, the last title race was like 2016 probably. So but then
what I'm trying to say is, if you're patient enough, because you have to be, if you're patient enough to bring in a new man and give him 2 seasons, because let's be fair now, that's what we gave every manager. We gave Jurgen Klopp that. You're saying everything else. If you're saying you're willing to give, let's just say a Tommy Tuchel, another 2 years with the current financial restraints that Jurgen Klopp has, are you really in your heart of hearts saying, yeah, I will be calm. Majority of the fan base will be calm. 2 years, he's got no money. He'll have to just work with what he's got, buy and sell. Don't forget, we've got no one to sell now, unless we sell Mohamed Salah. You want a new man at the helm. You want him to give him 2 years, and then you think in the next 5 years he's going to win the same amount what Jurgen Klopp has with more competition.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. I don't think it will take 2 years for another manager to come in and fix the issues that we have. I think when we look at, you're saying that he didn't have we're saying about financial restraints. We have to look at the players that he's bought, and could we have spent that money elsewhere and think about it smartly? Because players that we're now going for, like Enzo Fernandez, went for 10 million in the summer. Now we looked. Obviously,
that's not Jurgen Klopp's fault.
But I'm saying is that was 10 million. If that was a player that we was looking at, we could have got that guy in for 10 million in the summer. That's 10 million. You got Gravenberch that went to Bayern Munich. That's 30 million. We could have used.
Jurgen Klopp's fault. Yeah, but you're mixing up the two things now.
No,
you're not. You're blaming Jurgen Klopp. Didn't buy it or sell these players. Jurgen Klopp is the coach. Jurgen Klopp has worked with him. Now, I agree Jurgen Klopp has to change his ways. 100%. I agree Jurgen Klopp has to come with something fresh. I agree, he has to be more flexible in his tactics. But so far, you haven't told me Jurgen Klopp is not able to do that. We've only seen come to the end of a cycle, and I agree. This team under Jurgen Klopp has come to the end of a cycle. But the evidence and suggestion to me, because of what he's done with Liverpool, is he's shown me that he can turn Liverpool Football Club great. He's already done it for me. Now, I want to... The only benefit... What I'm trying to say, basically, is I'm ready to give him money to do that. If I give him the money, when I say me, I ain't got a pot to piss in, but new owners, I want new owners to back him, give him the money to try to do it. If after another season with money he can't, then I'm 100% on the, you know what, Jurgen? And if we give him money and he's still loyal to people like Henderson, Milner, Fabinho, Matip, whoever, if he's still loyal to them and he's got money and owners are saying, yo, what, we're making bids left, right, and center at 60 million, Todd Bowley's 100 million. If he's still being stubborn and if he's still being not flexible, then I'm ready to go to town on him. Right now, I think it's ludicrous. ludicrous to go to town on Klopp when there's major other issues that's starting from the very top. That's just my opinion.
That's the issue though, Grizz, because what we do, and as it seems to be the people I come across, is we don't want to. No, I'm not saying look, get rid of him and stuff like that, but we don't want to blame him for things that we can blatantly see as fans on the football pitch. It's like because he's won us the trophies, we're like, oh, do you know what? We're going to give him a bye this year. We'll let him have another season. We'll give him money and let him.
So what else do you give? But what else do you give someone time for then? You don't give someone time to who's fucked you over and made you worse. You give time to people that have been loyal to you. You give time to people that are good for you.
That's a sentimental thing.
But I'm sure you're sentimental in your own personal life. If you've got siblings that have been good to you, that have been back to you, are you going to be cold-blooded at the first sign of distress? You're going to forget all their good times and everything. You're going to say, you know what? Yeah, you're done with me. If that's you, no problem. Each person to
Grizz, it's football, though, isn't it? Really, it's football. It's a business now. We look at it as fans as it's like 20 years ago.
It's a business. It's
about
business.
Results.
100% it is, but it's a business. That's your first thing. And as a business, we're worth 4 billion now, my brother, whereas we were worth 300 million. So even as a business, we're flying and booming. And part of his resume, whether we fans, because we don't give a shit about the books. We don't give a shit about the sponsorships. We don't give a shit about the new stands. We don't give a shit about the new training facilities because we don't. We just want to see on the pitch. His part of his resume was the owner said, yeah, make us good, but we're going to work in such a way that we got to handle our business as well at the same time. And this man handled his business and on the pitch. I ain't about to duck on him, man, the first sign of distress, because this is the first sign of distress for me. Because 6 months ago, I'm pretty certain you must have been buzzing. So you wasn't buzzing when we gave for 4.
So this is the thing, Grizz. I look at football in the finer detail. So even though we're looking and we're challenging for all these competitions, I was still seeing these little things that he wasn't doing that I knew was going to come back and bite us. And it's now happening. So it's overplaying certain players. Having that favoritism when you're playing people at their position. We bought Cavallo, not playing him in his right position. We bought in Gakpo now. We don't know how to get a fine tune. I'm pretty sure I saw fan base saying we're going to play midfield up front, left, right. I think at the moment Klopp is looking at the game in such a way where he doesn't know what his best 11 is, and I'm not as a fan that's going to sit here and go, let's wait. Can I
suggest it's very difficult for him to know his best 11 when he's got no Virgil and 4 out of our 5 strikers.
In charge. He's been in charge for 7 years, Grizz. So how can you not know your best 11 at this point?
Because he hasn't got his players right now. They're injured.
You still have enough. So let me ask you.
No. I agree. Look, I agree that we shouldn't be in this position.
Yeah,
but you're saying he doesn't know his best 11. Of course he doesn't, because 5 of his first bona fide starters, 3 of them are new signings, are injured. So what's he gonna do? What's his plan to do?
So as a manager, then it shows that he doesn't have any tactical
hold on, check this one out. So you're suggesting to me, because we need to move on, and this has been
I
hope you call in again, and we want to chat. I will. But what I'm saying is to you is, if you're suggesting to me, and it's only a suggestion. I want to hear you say it. No. I want to hear you repeat yourself. If you're saying to me on the back of last season, if Aston Villa hold on or we get one handball decision at Everton or whatever, blah blah blah, and Courtois doesn't put one of his best performers in the Champions League final, one of those goes away, you still would have been asking for Klopp out because you're seeing deficiencies in it. So be honest. That's what I'm going to end.
Here's what I'm saying, because I didn't say I was going to ask.
That's what I said. I
saw deficiencies in what he was doing that was leading to this point.
That's fine. I get that. We all saw deficiencies in the squad. We all saw deficiencies in the issues. But you're saying from that, which is 6 months ago, I don't know, give or take a month or here. You're saying in the space of 6 months, you've had enough from that position. Huh?
Before 6 months.
None about summer holidays in it, man. I'm talking season-wise, football-wise, man.
Go on.
What, Champions League final in May? Yeah, 2-month break, World Cup included. Footballing-wise, it's 6 months, isn't it? 5-6 months, yeah? Even less footballing-wise. You're saying from losing on the last day within 20 minutes of the league title, 90, how many points? And Champions League final against big fuck-off Real Madrid, who own the Champions League, who own that European Cup, yeah? You're saying you was ready to sack him then. That's I'm asking you, yes or no question. Was you ready to sack him then? No, I'm assuming.
But I saw these.
But you saw deficiencies in the squad and the team,
I knew it was going to come to this point.
And you knew that you're going to come home to roost. So from that position, to 6 months later, you're ready to drop this manager now?
I'm ready.
That's fine if you are. It's
But Grizz, why are we so scared for change though? That's
No,
what
I'm
I don't
not.
understand.
No,
That's fine.
I'm not.
We're all nervous, like, oh, if Klopp goes, that means we're just going to go downhill. Who says that?
No one says that. No one says that. No one says that. But we have to base it on tangible evidence that we've got in front of us.
But we don't have tangible evidence to say with money he's going to do well, because none.
We haven't.
He's been to Mainz, Dortmund, and now Liverpool.
I've agreed with you, bro. 100%. Ask Cav. Just before you came on, I was saying that. But what the only difference I was saying is I'm ready to give this guy another chance. Maybe that is me being sentimental. But life is not all about cold-blooded killing, because look at Chelsea over there. Cold-blooded killers, yes or no? Managers in, players in, coaches in, revolving door, billions, where are they?
Oh, but at the same time, they're winning trophies, bro, and they're doing it on a consistent basis.
I beg your pardon? Where are they?
Come on, man. We're not going to do that, man. You know, when they had Abramovich, bro, no matter if
so now you're talking if
could win the Premier League, and
but now you're talking if buts, but you're talking if buts again, isn't it? Okay, they might come back, they might do it. They've just spent close to 1 billion in the last 2 to 3 years. Who's been more successful? Man United have spent how much, people? 500, 600 million. Where have they got to? Where have they been? The only team right now, as of fact, bro, me and you, we're talking facts here. The only team that's been more successful in world football is Real Madrid and Man City. Real Madrid and Man City, factually speaking, have been the only teams that have been more successful than Liverpool Football Club in the last 5 years, guys. Cav, Bilal, 5, 6 years. Yeah. You telling me how many other teams that are have spent half a billion, I should say? It's not. That's not how life works. Spend million, keep rotating. He's spent the least out of all these other institutions. PSG, just to name a few. Man United, PSG, I don't know how many other clubs. Milan clubs, Juve, all of these teams that are spending money left, right, and centre everywhere in the club, changing their coaches everywhere. This brother, and I think we've won more trophies than Man City. Hold on, we've won 7 trophies in the last 5 years. Have Man City won more?
Man City have probably won like 5 Carabao Cups. If you add them,
yeah, probably won more.
But listen,
you know what it is?
Listen. We're gonna keep it moving.
I appreciate
it's been wicked chat. Yeah, listen. when you chat to me, you'll know nothing is personal. It's pure football chat, and I loved it. I loved it, bro. Big up yourself. Thank you very much for coming on.
Guys.
Hope to speak to you
soon. Catch you in a bit, yeah?
All right, then, boys. Sorry,
Cav. You can say what you want to say as well. Sorry. I love that exchange. I loved it.
Do you know what? Right? Because Enz, this is what he does. He asks the questions that people don't want to ask, right? And I think that although you can very much be Klopp in and support Klopp and be loyal, it's okay to question him. It's okay to say, look,
100.
Is there anybody better out there? Because unless you answer the question, you don't know the answer's yes. Do you know what I mean? You can only know that Klopp is the right man for the job if you ask the question, is he the right man for the job? Who is better? And when all the answers lay down on the table and go, no one's better, cool. It's Klopp then. Let's move. Do you know what I mean? But it's fair to say Klopp hasn't been great this season. We should question it. And look,
100%.
I agree with Enz. And I said this when I say it again, when people say Klopp out, I say, tell me who should come in then. And if there's a genuine question and you bring someone to me and I go, look, here's a manager, right, that can come in with these type of players. He can play this style and that will get a tune out of him. That will get a tune out of him. That might just help his career for an extra few years. I tell you what, he's actually really good at getting in buys, because when he was at Brighton, for example, he was finding these gems. And I tell you what, these so-called gems he was getting, he's a specialist in getting forwards. And that's what we need right now. There's a scenario out there where a man could come in and do a better job. We can't just disregard that.
Of course. So absolutely.
We'll
never know. Yeah, cool.
Can I leave you guys on this and then I'll jump out?
100%.
All the fans that travel up to Liverpool on a week-to-week basis, right, and spend all your money and then go and watch him play a formation that doesn't suit us, it keeps doing this favoritism thing. All I want you guys to do is just have some vibe and don't moan. But it's going to continue until you guys step up to the plate, man, and stop on this fence thing. Say either Klopp. If you want Klopp to say cool, if you don't want him to stay, then say you want him to go. But I'm just asking the questions. That's all I'm doing. I'm just seeing what everyone thinks about those. But it's a difficult one to ask, and I can see the reaction people get.
Passions and emotions are exactly, that's what these channels are about. That's what fans are about. We're real fans. We ain't no experts, man. We're just normal everyday fans that are so passionate. And I love your passion, I love your energy.
Listen,
and you got a big fan in Zuberi. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? You will.
He's ducked my channel. He's in the comments now. He's ducked me. He can't face me face to face, so he's in the comments now. Like
is that you to draw him out?
Yeah, I'm drawing him out. Yeah, come in and talk to me, but big boy, come true in it. But yes,
I appreciate you. Listen, I appreciate you, Cav. I appreciate you. A big
nice
one in the chat, man.
Respect. Nice one.
See you later,
chat. Love that. Love that.
Yeah, this is what it's about.
He got me passionate. He was passionate. We talked. We disagreed.
This is why I like ends. This is why we talk all the time.
Brilliant.
Because we ask each other serious questions and we don't sit each other going, I agree. No, we question everything. We're open-minded.
We got so many in the chat. We got Albert next, and then I'll work out the rest of the order after that. Albert, you're going to come in straight after the super chats that I'm going to go through. Dean, who was on earlier, says, speaking of tactics, Klopp needs to learn how to set up his squad according to the opposition we're playing at the time. We are too predictable, in my opinion. 100% agree, Dean. 100% agree with that. AOT says, does anyone know why Fabio Carvalho hasn't had minutes since our Carabao Cup exit? How is he behind Ben Doak? Respectfully, I like Ben Doak, by the way. Cav, any thoughts on that?
It does seem strange, yeah. I mean, like Carvalho, I think from when he started the odd couple of games, he didn't pull up any trees. But as a substitute, he made a slight impact on the games he came on. It seems strange that he's not even being used as a sub at the minute. I'm not sure if something's going on there. But behind Ben Doak, yeah, it's fair. Ben Doak took the opportunity. A very few minutes he's got to impress, and he is impressing. So look, play the guys that are showing you that they can do the business. And Doak,
guys, over 700 of you still in here. True soldiers, true support. Apparently, we've hit 400 likes, which is mad ratio. I love that. Let's get to 500, and I love that even more. You already seen the passion. You know what I mean? We haven't even discussed tomorrow's North London derby yet. That's going to be fire and brimstone, man. But yeah, Tony says, as a Spurs supporter, I'll let you deal with this one, Bilal.
He says, yeah, so Tony says here, Tony Stark, so yeah, he says, as a Spurs supporter, we were in the same boat after losing the Champions League final to you in 2019. 4 years later, we're still in a rebuild, could have done it with Poch. And I think that's a crux of the issues and the debate you're having with Ends is like, how long is this rebuild going to be? Because there's so many teams now that you mentioned, probably more than 7 years ago. Is it going to be 2 years? Is it going to be 3 years? So do you want to stick with the guy you know, with Klopp, who's giving you so much? Or do you want to bring in a Tuchel or something and then go with him? And it might still take the same amount of time. So I think that's the actual argument. Do you want to just stick with Klopp for the rebuild? Or do you want to bring someone else in? So yeah. I see the Tottenham fans now are saying they want it. Some of them feel like maybe just should have just kept Poch this whole time.
Some are calling for Conte, big Antonio Conte. Do you guys know the level that Antonio Conte was rated at before his Spurs? Like sometimes shit doesn't work out, man. Spurs fans were overjoyed. They've got one of the top three coaches in the world at the time or whatever. You know what I mean? When Mourinho went to United, people thought, oh shit, Jose Mourinho with millions to spend at United. Before that, it was what's that guy's name? The Dutch manager, man, the big main one, man.
Louis van Gaal.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But I'm not suggesting there's no one who can do a better job than Klopp. Of course, there's always someone who may be able to do it, and we don't know. But I don't think I'm ready to pass on Klopp yet because I don't think he's had the working conditions that's fair on him with the credit he's got. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. With the credit he's got, with the credit he's got, give him the working conditions that he deserves. And then if he continues to show the traits that he's shown or the deficiencies that we have seen, and we admit, even the most ardent Klopp supporters, if he continues that, then 100%. I don't think we're at that stage right now. We're going to bring in Albert, who's been waiting patiently in the studio. Albert, my brother, hope you're doing very well.
Hi, Grizz. How are you?
I'm okay, my bro. I'm okay.
How's the virus?
I'm okay now, bro. I'm off that hard herbal generational secretive drink. I'm just on the squash now, so that's a good sign.
Hi, Bilal. You have the sexiest smirk in the whole world.
100%.
Especially when you're smirking at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Villa's blushing.
I'll take the
Listen,
compliment.
man, I don't understand why so many of us are skeptical about Klopp leaving. I think he should be gone already. And I'll tell you why. I've watched Liverpool, or I've been a supporter of Liverpool for 47 years. 47. I saw a little bit of Shankly. I don't remember too much, but I definitely remember Bob Paisley. I remember Joe Fagan, Roy Evans, and you can go through the list. Liverpool sacked its biggest hero, Kenny Dalglish. We sacked him because he wasn't doing well enough. So what's the problem with sacking Klopp or Klopp resigning or whatever? Listen, anybody who is a supporter of Liverpool, who loves Liverpool like I do, should not be happy with 9th place. And I don't care what the manager did before. We are 9th. Today, we have been put to the sword by Brighton. Brighton don't have a smidgen of the money we have, but they have a different system they used to bring players. They have a satellite club called Union Saint-Gilloise, from which they send their players and they bring them to Brighton. How did a player like Caicedo, who is paid £7,000 every 2 weeks, put us to the sword in the manner in which it was done today? How did McAllister do that? How did Solimash do that? I mean, I've seen a headline that I cringe. In one of the papers, is like, no Leandro, no problem. That's painful. Klopp is not doing what he's supposed to do. Klopp is running around hugging players, removing lice from their hair, putting brow cream in their hair, giving them hugs and kisses all over the place. That's not what he's supposed to do. And I go with the previous caller. Football is a ruthless business. It's not cricket where everybody wears white, and at the break time the umpire goes to have tea with them. That's not what it is. It's a ruthless, harsh business. And you want to talk about successful managers? What was Sir Alex Ferguson doing? He got rid of Jaap Stam. He got rid of David Beckham. He got rid of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Who didn't he get rid of? Because football is like an aircraft. You don't wait for the aircraft to have a problem in the sky before you fix it. It is preventive maintenance. Who in his right mind at this time starts Henderson and Fabinho? How did he do that? Did you guys watch it? Because I'm in Orlando, Florida, and I heard that it wasn't telecast in the UK. So if you watch that match today, we were going to get there. And it's going to get worse, folks. It's going to get worse. Because the manager doesn't have the balls to get rid of the players he needs to get rid of. So let's go back to the issue of FSG. And for the record, I'm FSG out. I want them gone already. Because they are not investing the same amounts of money that they should be investing in a team like Liverpool. I get that. But what about what we have already? We are on record as having spent £100 million on 2 strikers. I'm not saying for once that we don't need the strikers, because Gakpo, I'm Ghanaian, and Gakpo is half Ghanaian. His name in his father's language actually means metal. So, yeah, he's a Ghanaian. He's half a Ghanaian, so I should be proud of that. But what about the midfielders? Marcus Thuram is going for £9 million as we speak. His brother Kefren is going for 21 million euros. So why couldn't we buy a striker and a midfielder? Grizz, our problem is in the middle of the park. End of story. Finish. If we had midfielders of the caliber of Caicedo and McAllister in the middle of the park, will we be having the problem we're having? No. And Klopp has done something which I commend him for. He's turned himself into a political prisoner, so to speak. Oh, at a point in time, it's FSG. And then now we are having tactical deficiencies being blamed on his deputy, Pep. it may or may not be true. But who's the manager? It's him. You are the manager. I've read Pep Lijnders' book. You know, you guys want to know a little secret? Pep Lijnders is not even a 4-3-3 man. He is a 3-4-3 man. Brendan Rodgers identified him when he was coaching the under-16s, and guess what? He was coaching them with a 3-4-3. So given the problems we have now, why aren't we playing with 3-back? Every manager who has half a turnip for a brain knows that if you want to get to Liverpool, attack the fullbacks, especially Trent. So why aren't we playing 3-back if we really want Trent to be on that side of the park? And I'm not competent enough to understand or to say where Trent should be or he shouldn't be, or where Robbo should be or shouldn't be. But given that we like to push our fullbacks high up, why don't we have a covering centre half? Why? We played 3-back in that same Amex Stadium and we won 3-0. Why aren't we doing that? This was the days of Dejan Lovren, if my memory serves me right. Why aren't we doing that? Why in the World Cup we saw Scaloni? He was playing 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, and then when he met the Dutch, he played 3-back. That is what a dynamic manager does. If Klopp is not going to do what he needs to do, why are we talking about what he has done for us? Why aren't we talking about him fixing the problems or leaving? If anybody is happy, apart from Bilal, if anybody is happy with Liverpool being 9th, Brentford is above us, Fulham is above us, Brighton is above us, Newcastle is above us. Are we happy? Are we happy? Come on, folks, are we happy? And all he does is get upset when he's asked questions about what he's going to do with the players he needs to buy. We need to get some hard rock midfielders in the middle of the pack. And trust me, they don't have to come for 65 million pounds a pop. If he goes into the French league, he can get some of them for 10 million euros. He could get Kefren Turam. He's going for 21 million. He could get Salis Abdul Samed. He is going for 15 million. You can get them and teach them what you want them to play. Because we all know Henderson is shot. Henderson is done. D-O-N-E, done. Fabinho is done. You have 37-year-old Keita who is parading as a 27-year-old, and nobody should question me. I know what they're doing. That guy is not 27. That's the reason why he gets injured and he doesn't heal. So what is our problem? Why aren't we able? I don't have, I'm retired. I don't have any means of putting pressure on Klopp and asking him to change what he does. But I heard there may be some of the listeners on your reel right now who we've been on other fora, and I told them that today was going to be bad because our team was set up exactly for Brighton to take us apart because of the flanks, because of the fact that our midfield is weak. So anybody who has sussed us out simply just hits us directly, exposes our back four, exposes our poor goalkeeper, and we have a problem. Today, let me give you a really nasty statistic. Our first corner in the match came in the 90th minute. Do you know that? Did you know that? Our first corner in the match came in the 90th minute. How can we be happy about this? I am so upset. It's not even fun. I mean, I thought Napoli was bad, and then I thought it would get better. I thought Brentford was really bad, but today is really, 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 really bad. And something has got to give. And if the manager is not willing and able to turn things around, he should go. For God's sake, he should go. He just renewed his contract. So if you renew your contract and the contract you renewed doesn't come with the tools to do the job, why did you renew it? Antonio Conte is refusing to renew his contract because he says, if you don't give me what I want, I'm not renewing. Why didn't Klopp do that? Why has he renewed his contract? He's not being given what he needs to do the job. And why is he still continuing on 15 million pounds a year, if I might add? I am sick and tired of the excuses for Klopp. Klopp needs to giddy up. He needs to get his hiney up, and he needs to retire some of those damn 40-year-old players. How do you keep renewing Milner's contract? How do you keep doing that? How do you keep renewing Henderson's contract? Oh, he's the captain of the team. Oh, he served that. Hey, football, excuse me to say, it's like prostitution. What have you done for me lately? Let's get it going. Liverpool has a heritage. Liverpool has the proudest heritage of any English club. We were banned for 6 years. I'm sure you remember. For 6 years, we weren't in Europe. We still won the European Cup six times. No team has come close to us. But for Graham Souness coming to mess up the team in the 90s, we would have won more PL titles than anybody else. So why are we sitting there and behaving like Klopp has done something that no other manager has done? In our darkest times, we still won the Champions League. We came close to winning it again. That was under Gerard Houllier. I'm sure you all remember. So what is the problem? Klopp took over Dortmund. And Dortmund is the largest supported club in Germany. It's not Bayern Munich. You can check. The Signal Iduna Park has the biggest capacity in Germany. The Ruhr Valley teams are the largest supported teams in Germany. They are the traditional teams. It's not Bayern Munich. So he basically was given a task to rejuvenate a team that already had a history and pedigree, just like the task he was given in Liverpool. After 7 years, he failed. Dortmund had already won Champions League in 1997. You can check. Karl-Heinz Riedler was the captain of the team at the time. So the task he has been able to do in Liverpool is not dissimilar to what he did in Dortmund. And he, at a point in time, he couldn't handle it anymore. The question we need to ask ourselves is whether he's gotten there. I think that Klopp has gotten to a point where the players are not listening to him because his training methods are injuring the players. Are you guys not surprised that more of our players get injured in training than they do on the pitch? Why are all our players getting injured in training? The day after the Charity Shield, they played another match. That was when Keita got injured. All these things are going on, whether it's good or whether it's bad. If you know that you have this kind of training regime where your players have to be like horses, hey, you replace them when they are 20, you discard them before they are 30. Maybe we know then that is your thing. But don't keep wrapping your hands around them, giving them hugs and kisses and what have you, rubbing your hands through their hair when they're not doing anything. Which team, tell me guys, which of the teams that we compete with will start Elliott? Elliott has played 27 matches this year. He has played more matches than any Liverpool match. How do you put the fortunes of a team like Liverpool on the shoulders of Elliott? He may be promising. He may have all the, he may look good in the future. He's not good enough right now. Because there are other 19-year-olds like Pedri, like Gavi, like the very Bellingham we want to bring in, for whom we want to sell all the franchise of Liverpool to, who are better than him. It's not his fault. But we need to be able to get better players for this time and not keep complaining that we don't have the players. If you don't have the players, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is anybody telling me that Brighton, the MX Stadium, that prefab stadium, they have a better pedigree and they are able to reach players better than us? What are we doing with all those Jorge Mendes players? Why does Jorge Mendes need to go and buy players, send them to Watford, or is it Watford or Wolves, before we buy them at an exorbitant price? Why? Why do we have to sit down for a player like Enzo Fernandez to come from River for 12 million euros, come to Benfica, and then we go and buy him? We want to buy him for 100 million. Why did we buy the gentleman who was missing today? What's his name? I'm so emotional. I'm forgetting names. The guy with the ponytail, our striker. What's his name?
No.
Nunes.
Why did we have to wait till Nunes cost 85 million pounds before we bought him? Are we saying that they don't have a scouting system? But the same club has told us every player who kicks a ball or catches a ball, he knows. So why are we complaining that we don't have the resources, and then we don't catch the resources where we can catch them? Why are we doing that? And then we come and complain, and then you are complaining. Today, I can bet you I thought I saw Klopp in tears. It's good he's crying too, because we are crying. I am so pissed. I am so pissed. I can't even mention my name today. How did we get here? How the hell did we get here? Liverpool? Jeez.
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I think I've seen you in the chat before, and first,
I'm always in your chat, sir. I'm always there. I'm always there badgering you. I'm always there.
First and foremost, I want to thank you for actually calling in, and we can have a face-to-face as opposed to maybe reading your messages. And it's always good to put a face, and now most certainly a voice to a name. It's also good to put a face, voice, and an opinion to a name. So thank you. First and foremost, I want to thank you for your passionate opinions on Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, the owners, the players, and everything. I really enjoyed it. I disagreed with quite a bit. I agreed with quite a bit. No, I'm being honest. I disagreed with quite a bit. Factually, you was quite wrong in a couple of things that you said, but I understand the emotions. But I agreed with a lot of what you said as well. Absolutely agreed with a lot of you said. But obviously, there's way too many points to discuss one by one. But hey, some of your points were spot on. You're absolutely spot on. As I said, I'm not going to go through them with one by one. But what I will ask you, and then I'll get an opinion from Kevin, what they think, is I understand your stance and I understand your opinion and I respect your opinion. So tell me if I'm wrong. You want FSG gone? You want Jurgen Klopp
gone already. Gone like yesterday.
Okay. You want FSG gone? You want Jurgen Klopp gone? And you want a lot of the players gone? In which order?
Whatever order that puts Liverpool back on top where we belong.
I know, but we don't. But what you said earlier on is we don't have that capacity and we don't have that know-how. So we can only give our opinion. So just your opinion. Which order would you like to see it?
Well, Grizz, to be honest, the first thing I really like to see is a new midfield.
Yeah, the first thing.
That's the first thing.
Okay, you're not going to get it because of the owners. So now what are you going to do? In
January.
So you're saying January, you want to see a new midfield. Are you saying 2 players, 1 player, 3 players?
I think 2 will do for now.
Okay, you're not getting 2. Okay, you're not going to get 2 in January. So now what do you want to happen?
Well,
because the owners won't release the funds. They won't release the funds in January to give Jurgen Klopp 2 midfielders that I think he knows. I think we know. I think millions and millions of Liverpool fans know around the world. FSG won't give him the money to give him 2 midfielders this January. Now, what would you want to do?
So let me ask you a question then.
No. I'm sorry. With all due respect, no. Okay. I'm going to ask you the questions. No, you have to answer because we're going to keep it moving.
So go ahead.
I'm intrigued to know. I'm intrigued to know what you want to do now.
Is he going to get 1 midfielder? Tell me, can he get 1?
I think he can get 1.
Yes, so let him get 1. Let's start from 1. You always have to start from somewhere. Get 1.
Okay, sir. Okay. Then what do you want to happen in the summer? So let's say we finish. I don't know. Let's look at the 2 sides of the coin. Let's say we finish in the top 4. And let's say we don't. So give me what you want to happen in the summer. Do you want the club owners to be gone by then? Or do you want Jurgen Klopp to be gone by then? Or do you want an overhaul of the squad first? Which out of the 3 options that we've got, what do you want in what order? Give me answers. No more questions. Give me answers.
So I want the midfield problem resolved because I don't want to go and play in Karabakh during next year playing Europa League, because I don't want Bilal to increase the size of his smirk when we are playing Europa League. We've been on his case play, that he plays on Thursday, we play on Wednesday. So I want to play on Tuesday and Wednesday. So if we can resolve that problem and we are
how? I want you
the
to tell
owners
me
gone.
what you want. I want you to tell me in the summer, if we reach top 4, what do you want done first in the order of the problems
I want
that
the
you've
owners
raised?
gone. I want the owners gone. I want the
First.
new owners to buy Bellingham.
Okay, so you want the owners gone first in summer.
Yes.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Then you want Klopp to remain with the new owners, or you want Klopp to go at the same time?
I want him gone too.
Okay, so you want the owners and Klopp to be gone in the summer. First the owners. Okay, so the new owners come in and you want them to sack Klopp straight away. Yeah?
No, I don't want. They don't have to sack him. He can resign.
You want him to resign. Okay, so new owners in summer. Yeah, sell the club. New owners come in.
I want him to have a caretaker period and then he's gone.
Caretaker period until we find a new man. Have you any suggestions on a new man, sir? Just top of your head. I'm sure you put some thought to it, because what you said.
Scaloni?
Scaloni, the Argentinian manager, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, no problem. And then you want the new coach Scaloni to come in with the new owners and overhaul this squad, because I think we all agree. Even Bilal, probably as an Arsenal fan, can say we need.
Bilal wants us to stay like we are. I'm telling you,
100%.
he wants us to be like we are.
so you want new owners by summer, new manager by summer, and then you want them to overhaul the squad by at least, I'm assuming, tell me if I'm wrong, 6-7 players.
Yeah, you're right.
No problem. Listen, Albert, I loved your passion. I loved your energy. Thank you so much for calling in. Really, really enjoyed your call, man. Thank you very much, sir. I respect your opinions.
Nice to talk to you, man. Nice to talk to you. I hope you fix that virus, man.
I have now. I have now. Look after yourself.
Amazing call.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Listen, any fever that I had, yeah, it's gone, bro. Saturday night fever, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I didn't need no herbal drink. Albert was the star of the show today. I don't even know if anybody wants to come in after that. Like, the studio's full. I need to start working out. Who wants to, like, how do you follow that up? Any ideas, guys?
I'm not.
I'll let you
sure.
choose. I'll let you choose. I'm gonna let you lot choose the next caller, because who wants to come in after that?
Hey,
I don't know. Bilal, you got someone that you want to talk to?
Albert said that a lot.
Yeah, man. Let's have a look.
That was legendary, Kath.
That was top. Yeah, that was top. Listen, I was like, I might be Klopp out. I don't know. I'm not even Liverpool.
Hey, Albert can inspire a nation, can't he?
Imagine him. Listen, if he was your manager or anything, you'd be up for it, would you not?
Bilal goes, I don't know, man. I'm Klopp out now, bro. That man beat me up. Oh shit. Yeah, I don't even know, man. All right, where are we going next, man? Who's I forgot the order, man. Who was? Do you guys know?
Do you want to stick on Liverpool or bring different?
I don't know, man. Whatever. Yeah, let's switch it up, man. There's people. I don't know. The studio's full. Like, there's 14 people allowed in the studio, and there's more people trying to come in, and it's saying the studio is full. So we need to get going, because a lot of these guys are not going to be able to come in. We're in the last hurdle. What's it called? Furlong. We're in the last furlong. So. Yeah, switch it up, bro. It's your call, man. I'm drained.
On then. I'll get Mykhaylo in.
Okay, we got Mykhaylo in the building too. But Mykhaylo is probably loving it in the background and listening to.
I was listening to Liverpool monologues. The copium session was amazing. Amazing monologues. But how you guys doing today? Obviously, I know how you guys are doing. I know how Bilal.
You already know how we're doing, man.
Me and Bilal did a nice little WhatsApp message in the morning. We sang "Glory, Man United" together.
I told him I have to be there, man. I said I'm RVP today.
And then he got mad at me. And he got mad at me because I said count on your Spurs. Right, like 20 minutes after the Man United game ended, because I said Arsenal lose tomorrow, and we beat them next week.
Man's already betrayed.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what.
1 minute
think,
after the final whistle blew.
But it's very, very true, right? Because if Man United beat Arsenal next weekend,
yeah.
Bilal, have you got the table there for us or anything? What's going on?
I'll get it up.
Like, Michael, talk to me today, because I don't know why, and we were trying to tell you, and I was trying to tell you, if you go one goal behind, remember I told you that part. I said, if you go one goal behind, you ain't ready to die, this Man United seat. I've seen something in you, and you was like, nah, man, I'm looking to get hurt, man. I'm ready for pain, man. bro.
I said,
Bro, talk to me now.
I did my match reaction after. I started with this set. Today, Man United proved something to me. I've been waiting for Man United to get that one. The Liverpool win in the beginning of the season showed me that there's promise in Erik ten Hag. And then this win today showed me mentality has been set. The standards have been set. There is no looking back now. Everything from here is to the moon and back, the sun and back. We were ready. This Man United team, the togetherness, like you said, when I saw us go 1 down, I said game, set, and match. It's over. Jack Grealish scored on me. It's not looking good. And then all of a sudden, I see Wan-Bissaka doing La Croquetas. I'm like, yo, maybe we're cooking something here. And then that goal, I'm just gonna say this here, that was not a goal. That was offside. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna say.
Well, go on. Well, let's talk about that one for all right. Look, overall, it was a tight game. I don't know if who deserved to win it. City had control, but United were looking threatening on the counter.
Did it, Jose? You know what Jose says. Sometimes you don't have to need the ball to control a game. For 60 minutes of that game, we controlled the game without the ball. Man City, Bernardo Silva was doing Croy turns in his own side of the half. This guy's heads in Barcelona. But
I think Man United deserve to win, to be honest.
Do you think so? Yeah. I mean, look, the opening goal is a bit of, look, we saw the tactics, right? It was Casemiro and pretty much Fred. Fred was man-to-man on KDB, right? It was wicked viewing, like pure joke sometimes as well. But then suddenly KDB takes Casemiro for a walk. Like, have you guys seen the video? Like, holds his hand, takes him for a walk, and at the same time pulls out a marvelous cross. You can't control KDB for 19 plus minutes, can you? He will have moments, right? And that was a moment. Bilal, did you think, game over?
At that point, man, it was a little dagger to me because the whole time in my head, I was like, United can't go 1-0 down. I was like, if they go 1-0 down, it's game over. So when Grealish scores, I'm like, damn, City just going to pass it around. They're going to start controlling the game, maybe winning tactical fouls and doing all sorts of stuff just to slow the pace down. But yeah, United, man, I know that goal was dodgy. Like Rashford, Salah scored a goal like that the other day against Wolves in the FA Cup. So I don't know, these referees, I don't know, this is a new rule in football that we need to be aware of. But either way, listen, the Man United corruption, I enjoyed it today.
Hey, I'm saying the Referees Association agree with us. That's all I'm going to say. Yo, PGMOL, they said it was a goal. So
one point, I've remembered, right? I want to see Man City get fined by the FA as well. They absolutely terrorized the referee today. Did you see the way the referee was scared, right? They've been finding Arsenal every single game.
Villa, you have to do that, though. You have to do that. I wish my club did it more.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying FA show some consistency because they keep finding Arsenal for doing this. But if I need to see tomorrow, Man City have been fined X amount of money for harassing the referee and all that sort of stuff. But we'll see.
You don't got their lawyers like that though. They got a superstar team.
Did you see the linesman? Soon as anyone stepped to him, this guy ran. He did
but it's true though. Listen, there has to be some sort of limit where you can't like all rush to the linesman and whatnot. We know we hate them sometimes, and we know we want to lose our shit with them, but there has to be some rules. But look, Cav, the opening goal. Talk to me about the equalizer, man. What's your view on it? I don't know if we've got a neutral view on it because we fucking hate Man United and we definitely don't want Man City to win. So, what was your view on the goal? Should it have stood? It's a weird one, isn't it?
It is a bit strange because like Rashford doesn't necessarily stop any Man City player. Like he doesn't get in there running stride. He doesn't necessarily stop anybody from getting there. But if you've played the game, you know by him purely being there, it changes the way that you assess the situation. Like, and then therefore it is interfering. Like if you read the rules to the letter of the law and it was black and white, he probably isn't offside. But come on, let's just watch the game. Clearly he impacted how that come about. You know, he's there. He's literally shepherding the ball for like a few seconds until it gets to Fernandes. Like, and I would say, I think it was Walker who was following Fernandes. If he knew, if Rashford wasn't there and it was Fernandes going for that ball, Walker would have known that and he'd have just maybe tried to get across him and deal with him. But I think Walker's kind of looking at it going, Rashford might get there, Fernandes might get there, and he's kind of like a little bit hesitant. So I feel like he did impact the play. I think the refs just bottled it. They didn't want to make a decision. It's sometimes, you know, when you don't want to make a call either way, you just do nothing. And I think that's what they did. They just.
I agree with this. Crowd pressure got to them, I think.
But I agree with this, though. You know, it's a decision that does open up a massive can of worms for the rest of the season, guys.
I doubt they
what they're
stick with it.
saying-
I doubt
You're
because
gonna
that was
see a rule
definitely
change. You're
offside.
gonna see a
That
rule
was-
change.
If they, yeah, but if they
It's
see, this is where it gets messy then. Because if that's the decision that changes possibly the outcome of a title race,
Yeah.
yo,
All I'm saying
Rashford was-
is
yeah.
if we don't score that goal, we don't win that game. I think the fact that if they change that decision to offside, I don't think we win the game. I don't think we get the goal. That changed everything because we all saw what happened. We scored 2 minutes later. Man City, there's a blueprint. If they concede a goal and it's like late in the game, they get shook. We all remember Real Madrid. Rodrigo scored that
crumble.
first goal.
Exactly.
Their mentality, they're not mentality monsters sometimes. I know they won the league like 3-2, but when it gets tight, they don't want that smoke. And they showed it today. And Erling Haaland, I said this last week. They do not look good better with Erling Haaland. And this guy got locked up by Luke Shaw today. He didn't get a sniff of the ball. 20 touches. Luke Shaw. People call him Luke Maldini because he be playing left back and center back.
oh shit.
20
Is
touches.
that,
Listen,
what,
who's
is, that what
speaking-
you, is that what you lot are doing now? Calling him Luke Maldini
That's what
because he
someone said.
plays
Not me,
left
not
back
me,
and
not-
centre
not
back.
me, That's not me. That's not me. I
Okay,
don't like
okay.
nicknames. I don't like
Because
nicknames from Luke
because
Shaw.
if you start doing that on my channel, I will lock you up, man.
No. I'm not doing that.
Okay,
Someone said that
but
on
the
the
street,
fan
but streets are
Street-
saying,
yeah,
right?
Streets are saying
Okay.
that. Streets are saying that. But nah, he did an
Shit.
amazing job today. Erling Haaland did not get a sniff of that ball. Nothing.
He didn't.
Yeah. Did
It's
Michael?
the old question, isn't it? It's the old. Go on, Kev. Sorry.
I was just going to ask. Did Luke Shaw play centre back again today? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played
Yeah,
left
yeah,
center back.
that's about
Did anyone see this coming?
Daily
And
Bin,
he's-
man. He's an English
In a
Daily Bin
3,
now.
he played in a 3 when Oli was there. I remember a game at Anfield when Salah scored like that second goal after an Alisson assist. Luke Shaw played left center back that game. He was good. He played against PSG in Champions League, but in a 2, I didn't expect it. When I saw him, I'm like Holland, bro. Holland should be bullying Luke Shaw. Let's be real. This is supposedly the top 3 striker on the planet. Luke Shaw is Luke Shaw. Like, you should be bullying him, but Luke Shaw got into every duel. He won like 2 headers in the last 2 minutes against Holland. Hey, man. Erik ten Hag, this guy, like I said, rock my world, changed my life. Any adjective for Erik ten Hag.
Rock my world.
I like
You
Luke
have
Shaw
to-
at centre back, man. I like him though, because I like Luke Shaw at centre back because Luke Shaw for a long time at left back doesn't really offer a lot. You know, when he was younger at Southampton,
Yeah, he don't
before
bomb
the
up and down
injuries,
the-
he was
don't bomb up and
unbelievable.
down the pitch.
Yeah, he's actually become a really good defensive left back this whole time.
Well, you know what?
So
The best thing about him now is against Barcelona, that first leg, Lissandro can't play. He's suspended due to yellow card accumulation. So Luke Shaw, now we have that left center back, and he stopped Haaland, but can he stop Lewandowski? That's the next step. That's a top striker as well.
Lewandowski's better as well, like with the ball.
Yeah,
than
Lewandowski
Haaland.
moves more. Like he'll drop deeper, so Luke Shaw's gonna have to pick him up. Like when United players saw Haaland drop deep, like this guy's not gonna do anything dropping deep. It's just an attack.
The
I
Haaland
think-
conversation is interesting.
I don't know what to make of it. Like, I'm interested. I'm going to speak to a few Man City. I'm going to try to do a Man City show on this on a post match thing after the North London derby on Monday or Tuesday. Bilal, we need to set that out on Premier League Khanage. That's going to be fascinating.
for sure.
Yeah, we need to set that
Yeah,
out.
the fluidity is like questioning. And Phil Foden, like we all rate Phil Foden, but like I said this as well, like it feels like his development has kind of stagnated. It's like flatline. Like Bukayo Saka, you're seeing him, it's rising every single year. Foden, he was getting put into Mbappe discussions like two years ago. There were people that were fighting with their chest for that. Now, can you really say that he's better than Bukayo Saka right now? Because
No.
You can't even
Not right
compare
now.
them anyway. He need
Yeah,
right
Foden.
now.
What Foden? Come to Arsenal, bro. We'll save you. He needs
but
that.
yo,
he needs
yo,
that
That's
yo,
kind of
not.
magic.
That is
Yo.
not what Michael meant.
That's
I
not what I meant.
love how
Yeah,
you
that's
took
what
it
I
that
mean.
way,
That's
but
what I mean. I'm like, bring in my side.
Edu can't lock on Mudryk. Relax. Come on with the Foden.
No. Like, listen, I'm seeing now like mad reports that Chelsea are donating to Ukraine's. I don't even want to say it. The war funds apparently. So
Oh,
listen, I don't know what's going on. It seems like politics and all sorts. But listen, Foden, come my sides, man. Because I don't know, left wing today again, hooked off at what is it, 57th minute? You know, he's playing so high and wide. I was pretty sure he was going to start the game because all the big games, Pep really loves playing Foden. But honestly, yeah, it's becoming a little bit more worrying, and it's going to take De Bruyne or Bernardo. I think Bernardo maybe when he leaves, then Foden gets a central role, and then
Bernardo's head is in. He's singing.
that was the I haven't seen Bernardo Silva have a least effective game than that. I don't know what you guys thought. I thought Bernardo Silva was proper off his game, and you don't often see that. Now we know he wanted to leave, but this comes back to my arguing about. Do you remember me and Cav were talking about? We were asked about the Sadio Mane right? And obviously every non-Liverpool fan wants to know, yo, why did you lot not keep Sadio Mane, this and that? Sometimes this is what happens when you keep a player against his wishes. Now, I'm not saying Sadio Mane would have, not given his all or anything, because, and I'm sure Bernardo Silva is giving his all, but to be successful at the levels that these guys operate at, everything has to be in sync.
100% locked. He has to be 100%
Fitness,
locked in.
family, emotion, everything. And you know what? Maybe Bernardo Silva should have been let go. Maybe that's how we're gunning Klopp right now of not being sentimental, holding on. Maybe Man City, because listen, I know we're dog shit. No, we're dog shit, all right? But Man City ain't Man City right now.
Bro,
Tell me otherwise.
I'm not gonna lie. Like right now, in terms I think I'm not gonna say we're better than them, but the gap has closed significantly, in my opinion. Like we shut them down today. We suffocated them for like at least 60 minutes until. And this is not the strongest Man United we'll see, because we'll get stronger in the summer. We're gonna buy more players. We're talking about we played with a half-fit Martial today, and a fully fit Martial is not good, let alone a half-fit Martial. Christian Eriksen by the 60th minute, this guy needed a new arc reactor in the heart, like Iron Man. That's what he needed by the 60th minute. His legs were gone. And we were playing with Luke Shaw at center back. Wan-Bissaka was at right back. It wasn't even Diogo Dalot at right back today. So this wasn't.
Wan-Bissaka was balling. Hey, listen, what's going on with him?
I was not familiar with his game. Bro, Ten Hag did something, bro. Ten Hag put him in the lab like he's like Chris Evans and Captain America, bro. Cryo chamber or something. I don't know what he did. He unlocked something. And plus, Marcus Rashford was not fit today either because he got a hip injury. So this is a Man United team that wasn't even that fit. But once we conceded that goal, I saw something like we played ball with them. Like we started going back to our game. We beat the press. We were comfy on the ball. Like I just think Man City, Pep's gone full Pep. That he's gotten this little. This is why he's Spanish manager sometimes. This whole total domination, 11 midfielders on the pitch, and this is why I wanted Ten Hag more, because I've seen Javi do this. They want to win a certain way, and they'll never change it. I just think for me, that's not the kind of manager I want. Like I've seen Ten Hag. Obviously, Ten Hag follows the same philosophical ideals as them, but he's shown against Liverpool City that he's willing to adapt, to change, like park the bus a little bit, be more compact. Like he has that mentality in him, and that's why I think Ten Hag, even Arteta, are that next evolution of a Pep, because they've gotten a little more stubbornness in them, compact, while Pep is like, oh, I want to do this 11 midfielders, total possession, Bernardo Silva doing Cruyff turns. Like, I just know. I think Pep, he's rattled too. Like, he saw it after the game. He conceded the Prem. He's like, oh, we've won it enough times. I don't want this.
Yeah, let him focus on the Champions League, man. You don't need another Prem.
You might need to pump the brakes on, Ten Hag being the Pep evolution. I think that may be a bit wild.
No. This is the next evolution. Every manager has like a next evolution in him, and I think Arteta is more, because I think Arteta really coached under him, while Ten Hag was more like the youth team, and I think Arteta is more of a clone of Pep. But I think Ten Hag has the perfect blend of a manager, and that's why I think that he's a perfect fit for Man United. This guy took us from the ground. We were in the mud, like we were in the mud, and we needed someone that was willing to accept the grind. Like Casemiro, for example. Like, there was a quote that Casemiro said, that he said he saw Man United get slapped up by Brentford 4-0 and said, I want that. I want to fix that. That's grind. That's dog. And I think Ten Hag has established that in Man United. That's why, if we beat Arsenal next week, I'm going to fully say that now. We're in a title race if we beat Arsenal next week.
No chance. Impossible.
Well done.
Impossible.
Do you know the way? I love it. But do you know what it is? We're all part of football fandom, right? That's what we do, right? And the emotions from on a weekly basis, it's mad. It's wild. Like if Arsenal win tomorrow, they're going to have so much confidence and energy. Even the ones that were saying, not yet. No, we're not ready yet. No, we're not ready. Are suddenly going to say, yo, wait, how many points behind if you win at Spurs tomorrow?
If we win, we've got 8 points clear. I think if we win tomorrow, that's the biggest statement we can make. Going away to Tottenham, the ground where we've struggled in recent years to get 3 points. I believe, obviously I'm going to believe that we're going to win.
It's your biggest game since Leicester. It's your biggest game since the Leicester game in 2016.
Yeah, and we won that one, but obviously that was a different Arsenal team. I think we got beat by Marcus Rashford the next game, that 3-2 game. But yeah, I think tomorrow's going to be massive for Arsenal. But on Ten Hag as well, I just want to touch on him. I don't think, to be honest, Pep for me is probably the greatest manager in my lifetime. And I think in terms of what he's done for football, I think he's influenced football in ways that, you know, is just unimaginable. I think every young coach or whatever has looked at Pep from grassroots to all the way to the highest levels of football and looked at Pep and trying to take a few things from him. But what Ten Hag's impressed me more than I thought, you know, when he came in this season, I was thinking, how's he going to set up with Man United? The squad's not really looking that good. Is he really going to get results? Is he going to try play this fluid football that we saw at Ajax? I don't know. But to be honest, as soon as he's come in, he's not gone full, I want to play Ajax football, you know, Dutch total football. He's brought in a proper solid structure to the team first. He's building on that. And for me, that's quite scary, because if he's building on this foundation already, and for me, he's not gone, you know, he's got a lot of things left in his tank to like really show us. So yeah, I give Ten Hag a lot of credit, and I think the ownership situation, if that gets sorted at Man United as well, they can start spending money again in the summer. Yeah, Man United are back. What else can we say? Because
there was never, even as Liverpool fans, right, Cav? There's never any thoughts in a Liverpool fan's head that Man United won't be back. Just like Man United fans should have known Liverpool. Cyclical. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. We know, like, as much as we hate each other and whatever, we're institutions, this country, right? And so we're going to be back. Yeah, heritage. Cav, where you at, man? Are Man United back?
I think they are. Yeah, I think they are. And I'm not trying to do this recency bias thing, because they're in a good vein of form. Like, they've got a purple patch. And to be honest, they could be in a title race, but I think this is the best spell they're going to have this season. Rashford's in red hot form. They're quite reliant on him at the minute. But they always spend money, you know, and they chop managers and they chop managers, but they spent. And some players, you know, weren't the right player for them, because they were buying more names as opposed to a player to fit a style. But at some point they were going to stumble upon the right guy. And I think Ten Hag probably is. He has a style of play, although he's willing to sort of compromise, as Michael said, in certain games. He has an idea as the type of players he needs to fit that system and stuff. And look, if the money's available, I know it's a bit questionable at the minute, but the money's there to support him. Yeah, of course they were. They got the support. They got, you know, everything that they need. They just needed to get the right man in charge to sort of bind it all together. And they've eventually done that with Ten Hag. So they might have done like a whole Chelsea thing where they spend and spend and spend, and then they chop manager, but one might come in and win a trophy, get rid of him the next season. Next one comes in, gets a trophy. They might have gone through that process, but it looks as though they've stumbled upon something that's a bit more for the long term. And I think they are back. And look, they might potentially get ownership change, so that might affect things again. But Ten Hag, man, I don't like to say it. I don't like United, but you have to give him credit. He's done very well. And he's done exactly, you know, before we come in and you sort of said, what does a manager need to do at United? And to be fair, the things you listed out, he's gone in and done. Addressed the Ronaldo situation, addressed the Maguire situation, you know, got him playing, got in names that people were like, oh, you're just going back and raiding your old club. No, he's getting people that he trusts. He's getting his lieutenants there. He's getting an inner core of players that he can rely on. He's guys that he can fall back on, you know, and he's built from there. So, yeah, sometimes as a Liverpool fan, but I think
Michael, we had to switch it up because so many Liverpool fans were getting hot and heated in the head.
As for Liverpool, I'm gonna leave it.
No, we don't. No. Shush.
Matoma hype. That's all I'm gonna say.
You get out of there. You get out of there. I'll see you in the week. I'll see you in the week. All right, in a bit. Take care.
All right. Take care,
cheers, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, man. A couple of super chats, and then I think we're gonna have Kevin guys next, and then we're gonna have two Liverpool fans coming at the same time. We're gonna have Zuberi, and we're gonna have where's Kevin? No, Zuberi and Lannan. We're gonna have Lannan and Zuberi come on at the same time because I've been chatting to them in the studio, and they have differing opinions on a topic that we're gonna. I don't know, guys, and the rest of you guys, we've got 20 minutes left, man. I'm going to try to keep it as quick as possible. Just two super chats to get through. Ash says, Rumours Goggins listens to Albert for motivation. Yo, the world listens to Albert for motivation after that. Come on. You know what I mean? Vegan Sports Bar says, Albert, please talk about the tour.
If you knew, you would finish them.
Oh, Lord, have a mercy. I love the chat, man. I love the chat. The chat's been amazing today, man. I tell you, I was trying to keep a straight face when Albert, because Albert was on it. And I was trying not to look at Cav, or I was trying not to look at Bilal and at the comments at the same time, because I knew.
Yeah. I had to take my eyes off the comments. These guys in the chat are not serious, man.
Yeah, they're not serious. They were killing me in the chat, man. They were killing me in the chat. All right, let's get Kevin on first. Kevin, channel member. Welcome to the stream, Kevin. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me well?
We can hear you loud and clear, my brother. How's things?
How you guys doing? Yeah, things are good. For the first time, well, not the first time, but I don't know if you remember, I did my first call-in about a year ago almost. It was one of your very early ones. And it was around the Salah contract extension, because I was comparing it to Pogba's and what it could do. I don't know if you remember that, chat. So it's been downhill, for a United fan, but as you can see, things are finally turning around. So things are good in the soccer aspect of my life.
Amazing, amazing. Happy for you. Not happy for your club, but happy for you, my brother.
I hear that. No, so I know you got two Liverpool fans coming up after, so just maybe we could continue a little bit on the United chat then. And I saw this quote I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if you guys saw it about Pep and what he said about not caring about the Premier League. I don't know if you guys saw that tweet going around today, or that quote going around today.
About Pep. I don't know. Pep Guardiola saying Michael touched on it as well.
Yeah, I don't care about the Premier League, and to care about cup, we can't win. We win a lot, so it's not a problem. That's a pretty crazy state. I don't know if it's true, because social media, people just throw whatever and it spreads like wildflower. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. And
does anybody have a backstory about that? Why did he say that? Bilal, Kev, have you guys seen it?
After the game, right? After the game.
To me, it sounds fake, but I don't know. It's been going around social media, so I don't know if it's true or not.
Oh, it was sarcastic, people are saying.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't hear the tone of it, obviously, so I don't know.
Yeah, look, we know Pep. Look, Pep. just like all, and this is why I find it funny why I ignore mostly when rival fans come for Jurgen Klopp about what he says in the post-match or aftermath of a game, because all the great managers, all of them bar none, have this, what's the word? When they're in the twilight zone straight after a game, when they ask questions, they're going to give you stupid sometimes, abrupt sometimes, rude abrupt, sometimes sarcastic sometimes. They do that. That's what they. Which one of Pep, Fergie, Jose, Tuchel, Conte, Klopp? Which one of these likes losing? Tell me one of those that hasn't had an outburst or a fit. Even now, we're seeing Arteta, who's got this image of James Bond and smart, and look how many rants and fits he's having right now, because the tension is real now. The pressure is real now. Am I right, Bilal? Even your manager's getting called out for shit.
But Arteta, to be honest, he's been like this since he's first joined.
But they all are, right? They all are.
Yeah, exactly. Just normal. And with Pep especially, his press conferences are hilarious. Like, even when he's on top and some of the comments he makes about the other team, you're like, Pep, shut up. Like, you don't believe what you're saying, right? You're just like, he'll big up a team and he doesn't mean it at all. Or he'll put someone down. Like, Pep is just, I think, the master of press conference. I just enjoy watching him. And obviously Jose Mourinho is probably the real master. Yeah. But I think after Pep got rattled, towards the end of Barcelona, that Real Madrid, how heated it got, and how it got too much for him, right, towards the end. I think after that experience, I think he's learned how to deal with press conferences and grown from that as well.
He's got sarcasm off to a T, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Sometimes he just says something and stares at the reporter and just like, anything else?
Anything else? It's mad the way he does it.
I think with that comment that he made, though, like that statement he made, it's a little bit like, put some respect on my name as well, Do you know what I mean? I lost against United. We're not at the title race. And just to remind you, we've just won a few in a row, and I've won every trophy here. So, let's cool the, questioning me a little bit. I'm the guy. So I think it's a little bit of fight back as well, to be honest.
I think he's right to do that, man. He's entitled to do that. Kev, just before we keep it moving, talk to me. When's your manager going to lose it? Because that's one thing we're waiting for. He hasn't lost it yet. He's been quite cool. Everything's going to plan. Obviously, you're over the moon with him, right?
Oh, I am, absolutely. I think everything he's had to tackle I'm talking about Ronaldo. I'm talking about the little meeting with Rashford. I'm talking about dropping Maguire, McFred, improving them. Aaron Wan, like I think he's tackled everything just as best as he could in the situation that he's in, and I am over the moon, and I love that he said who's in charge pretty much as soon as he got here. There's no messing around. It's no, because our biggest issue has always been player power, doing what they want, whatever they want, whenever they want, down in tools, whatever the issue. He came in and said, nah, you guys are going to play, you guys are going to turn up, and you're going to respect this badge and this club and this sport. And I absolutely just love it. I'm over the moon. He's handled everything as best as I think he could. As far as when he'll lose it, I don't know. I mean, we've taken some big L's, and he's taken it on the team. And something I've noticed, he's also, I think it was last week, or it was that week where the head had that blunder on the post and went in between his legs.
Mm-hmm.
The lot, I think, came out in the interview, and he said, you know, I also should have seen it coming. And before, everybody just threw the blame on, oh, it's his fault, or it was the defense should have done better, attack should have scored. Now I'm starting to see a little bit more player accountability and more just taking responsibility for their own selves. And I see a unit evolving, not just single players playing for the money, trying to get their own stats, just being selfish. I see a unit almost evolving. And Ten Hag, I think even if we go through bad patches, which obviously, you know, like you guys said, it's all in cycles, and I know we'll have some bad cycles, but I think he'll be able to handle it. From what I've seen so far, I don't think he'll lose it as much. Obviously, that's something we got to see in the future. But as of right now, I'm like you guys were saying on the Big Six, I'm on cloud 100 right now.
Oh
I'm
man, right now, you guys are unbearable, man. So this is hurting and the rest of the football fan base. But enjoy it while it lasts. Kevin, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, my friend. Look after yourself.
Make sure he
Thanks,
gets
Kevin.
it on the Big Six. Make sure, because I know he was talking a lot, but have a great night, yeah.
Love you, man. Nice one. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Sean says, just tuning in, Grizz. Can't wait to watch this theory back. My brother, you're in for a blockbuster. That's all I can say right now. So you enjoy the watch back while we carry on live. I ain't going to give too much away, but you're in for a blockbuster, my bro. Enjoy the watch back. I'm going to bring in the next two callers at the same time. We have Zuberi in the building and Lannon in the building. And there's a reason I want both of them in at the same time, because we've been chatting in the background. First and foremost, unmute yourself, Zuberi, and I salute you, sir. Long time enough to see you. Wow.
Yo, I'm still alive, man. Still here, and just absorbing the praise and power of the clap out. You know, I started the movement. I'm seeing a lot more pitchforks, and you know, it's good. People are starting to ask the right questions, and you know, just here to wake up the other few remaining people. You know, your Grizzlies and your Cavs. You know, the fence sitters trying to push them over on my side, and you know, we'll take it from there.
100%. This is why I salute you. See, understand? And of course, I believe the first time caller Lannon. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're doing very well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Are you hearing me?
Now it's perfect.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure. You know, I've been commenting on most of your this in every week. I'm from Ireland, originally from Nigeria, but I've lived in Ireland for 18 years. So right from when I was in Nigeria, I've been a Liverpool for all my family, my daughter, my wife, and everyone.
Amazing.
So thank you for having me, Bila. Thank you so much, Kall, and I've been on other platform as well. So thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you. It's our pleasure to have you. We were speaking in the private studio, and you know, we know Zuberi's because Zuberi's been part of the panel, and you know, he's been on the channel a few times, so we know where Zuberi's coming from. And then you made an interesting comment, and it got my notice, and so me and Cav just thought we have you guys together on the show and give your opinions. You've heard Zuberi basically.
Many times.
Opening statement. He's very Zuberi cut me off. You know me, just straight cut me off when I'm captain, right? So Zuberi's Klopp out, like he's done at this.
I know.
All right, can we rephrase this? It's 2023. Can we say we need a more responsible manager? And not just say clap out. Clap out seems
okay.
All right.
We're gonna mute ourselves. We need a more responsible manager.
That's all. I think 2023 we need more responsible manager. Take it
Lennon's
from there,
back.
Lennon. What you saying to me? Talk to me.
All right. One of the reasons why I decided to call tonight on Grizz TV is that we have the top red platform. We have the some of our platform that are I'll use the word reasonable. Yeah, that's what I mean. I decided to turn tonight, to give my opinion. Grizz Khan, one of the things before I respond to the question of my brother Siberi is that I want to encourage you. In politics, anybody who's known Nigeria is a British colony, about 250 million people. Sometimes majority, they can be wrong. And in this Liverpool situation, we have to sit down in a holistic way and analyze things. Yeah, that's what I mean. Huh? People can say Klopp out, Klopp in, FSG out, FSG in. There's one of my brother who comes off first, Albert. I've seen him on Hussein platform as well and some other platform like that. Sometimes we need to sit down and come out of the picture. Take yourself as if you are not a Liverpool fan. Take away the sentiment and the connection you have with Liverpool and sit down and analyze things. I'm an engineer by profession. I work with a company in Northern Ireland, Kerry Food. But they be taken over by an American. But before I went to that company, I worked with Dell before, American company. I knew how American operate, whether it is football, business is business, anyhow. But I'm fortunate to have a wife who is a business person. When we are talking about, they want to resign player, they want this player to play, I will be very angry. My wife will say, you are looking at the situation as a fan. He said, but from business perspective, she doesn't see anything wrong when they say, for instance, my wife said she will not be surprised that if they give 2 years extension for Navigator. I was raging. I got mad at home. My wife said, listen, he said, let me tell you, you are a fan. You want to win the trophy. You want to do that. He said, but does our owner wanted that? I said, what do you mean? These guys are billionaires. My wife sat me down. He wrote 6 pages and analyzed how business is being run. As a fan, we don't need to look at our club. I'm not saying not to be ambitious. All what concerns us, we don't care whether they build stadium, they extend stadium, they training center, whatever. What we wanted is we want to win the Premier League, we want to build the Champions League, we want to win everything. That's how every fan. But what is the goal? What is the ambition? These are the things that my wife has started preaching to me. He said, what is the goal of the owner? What is our ambition of the owner? Then he said, you are working with an American company in Northern Ireland. I said, yes. He said, even though there is a change of ownership, majority of the line manager, they remain the same. Sometimes some of the machineries will break down. We will say, but these guys are below. Why can't they get a new DC as an engineer? You don't do that. They will tell you from business perspective, it doesn't work that way. Why? The food we are producing, we are still making money. We are hitting the target. So they don't want to repair any machineries. If you bring that to football, it's not different. Everybody can have their opinion, club. There are people, and I'm not trying to condemn anyone. Like I say, firstly, I want to encourage Grizz. Please let your voice be more louder at this time. You know why? Because I don't want us to turn to Manchester United. Let's look at City. Let's look at Manchester United and Chelsea. The reason Chelsea sack every 2 years, they have the money to back it up by Abramovich. That's why they sack manager 2 years and they are successful. When Manchester United was doing that, they were not successful. Why? First, they don't have the recruitment team. They don't have the board at the top to make things work the way they wanted. Their scouting system was rubbish. And they were changing managers. How far have they gone? Now that they have made a definite decision, we are taking Ten Hag and stay with him the next 4 years, then they started on the journey. We don't have to forget that. Then one of my brother came, Albert. I've met him on other platforms as well. He said, "Oh, he wants our football club to go to the same level." Okay, where were we 30 years when we didn't win the league? Where were those fans? 30 years, we didn't win the league. Have we forgotten? I will say it is Klopp's fault for going beyond the ambition and the goal of our owner. If we are still at top 4 every year for that past 7 years, most of our fans will not be saying Klopp out.
Yeah,
I want people to sit down. Okay. Yes, he actually people should go and read the interview in 2015 before the takeover. Okay, before then, Brendan Rodgers would have won the league in 2013 and 14 if they have given me 2 defenders. We considered 50 goals. We had one of the best front three. 2000 Suarez was the best year. 50 goals conceded. We lost the league in 2013. Then we sacked Rodgers. When we are bringing in Klopp, people should go. That's why we have That's why we have mobile phone. We have all the laptop and everything. People should go and research. When they were listing the managers to recruit, who was number 1? Ancelotti. People should go and read it. It's on the internet. Ancelotti requested 200 or 250 million pounds first on the table before he can start as a manager. Our owner say no. That's why they went to Klopp. And then Klopp, they knew how Klopp works. You see, it's a marriage made in heaven, whether we like it or not. The marriage between Klopp and our owner is a marriage made in heaven. Let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. We can criticize Klopp, of course. Sentiment. Some people say, "Oh, why he doesn't change it? Why he doesn't change that? Why he doesn't change that?" There are some habits we cannot change. Some of us are 50 years old or 40 years. When you are beyond the age of 19 or 20, there are certain things in your life you cannot change. He's a man who doesn't like to have clash with players. People should go to Dortmund days. People should go to Mainz. He's like that. You can't change him. Rather, let us support him. That is why I came up tonight, to encourage Grizz. Rather than just bat him, he needs to, say, there is one of our fans who said that he wants the owners gone, he wants the players, half of 11, maybe 7 players gone, and then he wants the managers gone. Let me tell you, if we do that, 40 or 50 years, we're not going to win the league. Let it sink. Let it sink.
Jesus Christ. Listen, man, I was listening to you patiently, respectfully, because that's the platform, Grizz have, and, that's the platform we encourage to be respectful. I like your perspective, but I think your delivery was a little off. I didn't know where the argument was going for about 75% of it until you said we need to work with Klopp because that's who he is. I think that's what you said. And you said certain things aren't going to change. Listen, man.
No. When I say work with Klopp, what I mean is that he signed for it. He knew what, it's like a marriage. I'm a married person. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a black person. My wife is Ukrainian, right? Before I married him, I know the culture of the white people. There are certain things in my life that have to change in order for that marriage to work. Klopp knew he would not be having 100 million every season. He knows that. He's not stupid.
All right, so let me ask you a question, bro. So you came on here to ask Grizz to make his voice louder to tell the fans to change their ambition because of the owners and the manager?
No, not to change the ambition. It's to make it so that we don't go toxic. I don't want us to go like the way Manchester United have gone and some other club, and they go toxic, and then they are carrying placard and going to the stadium and say club out and FSG. I don't want to. That is why I like this platform, and that's why I came up. Not to say if they want
ambitious is toxic, bro. Ambition is ambition, man.
Ambition is ambition. Here is the question to you, Mr. Suberi. I want us to be ambitious as fans. You understand what I mean? No? There are if I'm going to let me ask you a specific question, right? Who should working in a company owned by an American? Who should be more ambitious? I, the manager, or the owner of the company that I work with? They employ me. Who should be more ambitious? Let's leave fans out. Let's take fans out. Let's take the owner. Let's take the manager of the club or the manager of the company. My manager should be more ambitious than my CEO. I don't think that's what it's not working. No place is done. There was a tweet I put out last week. Maybe Grizz will see. I said, can our owner deal like this? Keita is on 120,000 per week. Ork is on 130,000. I calculate 6 months remaining, 3.3 million. That's about 6.6 million. I say, can he just pay them off, and then we can get into manager? You know what my wife said? I mean, I get 2 players. My wife said, he said, I don't know business. No business will ever do that. Because as a fan, I was looking at it that Navigator is surplus in requirement. Ork is surplus in requirement. That is, they only have 6 months left. 6.6 million. Just pay them off, and then we bring in a 35 million midfielder. 2, that's 70. Can our owner do it? He can't do that. Why? Because he still wants his billions to go. And another point, my brother, is that we were valued at 350 before million in 2015. It is the level that this manager, including the owner, I'm not going to write them up because they did some great things. You can't. I am not a man who will say, "Oh, owner, they are just shit." They are not, as well. But they are not excellent. You know, when we go to school, you have the same way: bad, good, very good, and excellent. They are not excellent owner, but they are good owner. They are not very good owner. They are not excellent. But we want to get to the level where we have very good owner or excellent owner. Maybe you can get that from my analysis.
I think
so that they can meet our ambition, so that we can win the league.
Before I let Zuberi go as well now, Zuberi's gonna have a few minutes. I think from my experience of speaking with Zuberi, I think he's more on the Klopp must do better bandwagon. The Klopp must go. You're saying the owners can do better and have been okay, but can do much better. Yeah. I think he wants you to address the Klopp issue. Because I think, because am I right, Zuberi? Yeah. Again, chop me up if I'm not. I think Zuberi's issue is the business is the business. In fact, let Zuberi explain, because I know the business is the business, we know. He's saying Klopp needs to be held accountable more. Am I right?
I mean, you're painting a picture that I'm gonna have to explain now, but that's not the picture I'm running with. But anyway, so what you're saying is, look, if we know the business is the business, why change the business? The business is good. If you're a fan and you don't understand how business work,
No. I'm not saying hold on, both of you. No. Sorry, just to interject on a later. I'm not saying that. I thought that's what you usually say. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is what I usually say, and it's what I'm continuing to say. So I've never put these words together, but put it like this. If you're saying FSG out, you don't know anything about business, and I think you should leave that out of your conversation. If you know football, then we should talk football, and we should talk tactics, and who's in charge of those tactics. Because once again, people think we're in 6, business is bad. People think there's a direct correlation with coming in 6th this season or 9th, and the stocks dropping off dramatically. Stocks rise and fall every day. Go watch Wall Street. Business is business. It keeps going. As long as Liverpool has the next game, business has the next chance. So what do you want to do with Liverpool now? Do you want to talk business and the chances that business always have? Or do you want to go to the pub and say, yeah, no, we're smashing it still. We're coming in first. We're dominating the league. We've almost dominated the league. So when I'm saying, Klopp out or Klopp accountable, bro, we've went to a lot of finals and we've come runner-up, we've come second, whether it's a lack of investment, whatever the case is. Man City had managers that won the Prem twice and they still got rid of them. They brought in Pep. They didn't bring him in to win the league. They didn't bring him to win the League Cup, FA Cup. They brought this man in to get them over the line in Europe. And let's be clear, he's yet to do that. So that's kind of where Pep's story is. So the FSG out, bro, you're changing the business. The business is always going to be what it is. When we're talking about ambition, bro, we can all agree that all Liverpool fans have the same ambition with the club dominating and being the best there is in England. That's what all fans want. What the owners want and what the manager want doesn't match that. So to try to dissect that, which is which and which isn't, we're not really gonna get anywhere. So all I'm saying is FSG has no bearings in who comes and who don't go. They have people in place that make those decisions and sign off on those decisions. If those people that are in place are not to the benefit of the club, then those people should go. Business is great, bro. If you're that upset about business, trust me, put your money in the business, and I guarantee you have a different opinion. Bet on the game, and I guarantee you have a different opinion. Because betting on the game, you will not do that right now because of the form we're in.
Suberi, I have a question for you. Who are the? Don't mention their names, right? Who are the people that are put in charge, that are above club, right? That make those decisions before the managers. That's FSG. Maybe they stay in the state and go about their life. Then they employ people or appointed people to look after that business. They are the one running the show, right? So who will fire those people? Club will fire them? No.
Like I said, once you mention FSG, you have to go into a full business conversation. Here's how the business conversation goes. Who's in charge of the on-the-field stuff? That's Klopp, right? No money is coming up short, bro. We're not losing money business-wise. So why would I fire the guy I put in charge to help Klopp, whether succeed or fail on the pitch? Whether Klopp succeed or fail on the pitch, bro, the money, even if it drops, it's not dropping drastically for them to even act. The reason why I'm bringing this conversation to you, I'm in a business and it just got reacquired and they brought in millions of dollars for like new equipments and all that good stuff. If that budget don't get spent, no one is getting fired because they didn't buy new trucks or new equipment or new tools, because all they're going to see is whether the money gets spent or not, the job is getting done. We don't know the targets of the club. We don't know the vision of the club. You know who I blame for that? The guy they put in front of the club, the face of the club. When you see the lineup on the field, you don't see FSG. You see the team and you see Klopp. He is the face. He's not giving us a clear vision of what this club is. I said this to Grizz at the end of the Community Shield. I'm like, Grizz, I do not like this because there's no clear way of how we're moving forward. I'm seeing a drastic shift in the tactics and none of them look sustainable. We're going from one player and the sub that's coming on changes the game completely. I say, yo, Grizz, it doesn't look like you know what he's going to do in the future. You look like he has option, but if you don't use them correctly, we're going to be in turmoil. Every Liverpool fan or everyone watching Liverpool game can clearly see we're not using the tools we currently have in the right manner. Hence the position we're in now. What are you bringing 5 new tools, not using them correctly? We're going to yield the same result. So what I'm trying to say to you as a mechanic that uses tools, bro, you can have all the best tools in the world. If you don't know how to use them, bro, you're not going to get the job done. Is this guy the guy to use the current tools that we have and get better result? I don't know the answer. Why is it on my back to go find you guys a new manager? That's the question we should be asking. Who's in charge of going to find a new manager? It's not Zubiri, but I'm telling you right now, the tools that we have going in for the quad last season, we should not be 6th.
Okay, the question. Okay, I'll come on that. Let me say this. I still go back to the same thing. The owner of a business, his ambition, his goal, he wants his business to be successful, right? He wants his business to be prosperous. He wants his product to be on top of the market. He has to see how things is going on in his business. That is key. If we are doing very bad on the field for the past 7 years, we will not be worth 3.5 billion. That is a fact. Nobody will buy that product. Nobody.
Listen, man.
It's because we were successful on the field. That is why the value of the club rose up.
Bro, we can talk business all day long. We're just gonna come back to business is business. Let me talk football and show you a point. Lampard got sacked. Lampard got sacked running a team in the Champions League, bro. He just got them out the group stage. He got sacked. Are you gonna look me in my eye and tell me Lampard knows how to use their tools to win the Champions League? No, he did not. Well, you know who did? Tuchel did. He came in and picked that team up just out the group stage and won the Champions League with it. What I'm trying to show you is, bro, having the tools and using them is two different things in football.
Siberi, I said something earlier. This is the point some of our fans are making, right? You can't compare Chelsea with us. You know why? Chelsea can afford to sack manager every 6 months and they will be successful. We can't try that in Liverpool.
Lannon, that's not the point I'm making.
That's the point.
No. I hear what you're saying. Listen, let me repeat it slowly. The point I'm making is one manager, whether it's at Chelsea or not, the Chelsea manager had a team in the Champions League. No one backed him on winning that Champions League with that team. They brought in a new manager with the same team, and he won it. What I'm trying to say to you, the tools Klopp has now, surely there's another manager that can get more out of these guys than Klopp are getting right now. And you cannot tell me that's not fact.
Okay.
Just one
Grizz, let me say something, Grizz. Sorry,
okay,
sorry, Sano.
No, go for it.
Do you know the reason? You see, I tweeted to Husam last week, and I said to him, I expected this to happen this season. He said, why? When we are going to even win 4 trophies last season. I said, did you remember 2018, 2019? That we lost the league at the final day by 1 point. But that season, we won the Champions League. That gave the team motivation. If any one of us has gone to school, or let me say this, anybody who have driving license, if you fail a driving license 2 or 3 times, the urge, the motivation to go again is so difficult. That is what happened to the team this year. If they have won, let's say the league won, or they won the Champions League in this season that ended, we are not going to get demoralized at the way we have like this. That is a fact from human aspect of life.
Just a small timeout. Cav going to come in there.
Yeah, a lot of points being addressed, and I think you're both right in what you're saying. I think Zabir is making the point that if we're referring to players as tools, there is quality there, and Zabir is asking the question: is there a manager that can get better results with these tools, with these players? And there might be an answer somewhere that is yes. I believe that there is for the short term, but long term, I still want Klopp in place. But I also think, Landon, you're right in saying that the ambition there's no clear. You're asking the question about ambition, right? And a lot of people we're football fans and we want to see our team successful. And we're questioning what the ambition is of FSG and what direction. And there's a lack of direction. And you know what? I tend to agree, because they're businessmen and they have to make sure that the business runs first and foremost. But if the business is successful, the football will be successful. The two have to go in parallel, right? And FSG have done the training ground and they've done the stadium on the second expansion for that and stuff. So they've shown ambition in that respect. But what we see with other clubs, because this is all we have to go off, is compare our club in the past and other clubs, is when a manager's failing, we often look at a sacking of a manager as ambition by the club, because they're going, by sacking you, I'm showing that I ain't accepting that level. I've built this, I'm making this football club. I'm trying to progress it. I expect it to be at a certain level, and you as the manager aren't getting it to that level. So you have to move on. Because we're not seeing a sacking in Klopp, you then start to question what FSG want out of this. That's the thing. So I think the points that you guys are both making are probably valid, but I think you're probably having 3 arguments in one conversation, to be honest with you. I do tend to agree. It would be nice, although I don't think we will get it because of the potential ownership change and things like that. It would be nice to understand what is everyone's common goal here. Is it for Liverpool to be the best team in Europe and win Premier Leagues? Or is it to be a top 4 team and anything above that is a bonus? Because we see the acquisitions of Nunes for 84 million, and that suggests big ambition. We want to win the title again. And then you see a lack of investment in the summer. You see the training ground and infrastructure expanding around the club. So you go, big ambition. But at the same time, in some respects, they're accepting the results that Klopp's given them, which isn't showing a lot of ambition from their point of view. Or is it just faith in them, Klopp, that it will come right? It's a lot of things you could read into it. I think you guys have both made good points.
Yeah,
thank you so
much,
No, I agree with you, Kev. Look, it's not a right or wrong thing. It's like points and opinions. And Lannon, he came in and he was like, yo, look, man, instead of, pointing at who should be out, who should be in, just stand Liverpool. You'll never walk alone. Single no one out, leave no one by himself. The Klopp out thing has gotten toxic. I'll take credit for being the leader. I stroked the first match early out when we were on top. I was being cynical. He was pissing me off with some of his late subs, some pointless subs. Milner.
Yeah, tell him. Tell him first.
Nah, he was
Serious
pissing me
show.
off with the Milner thing, man.
And
So
I'm gonna
listen, man.
first and by the way, I didn't back you because I didn't get a chance to, but Zuberi did point out issues that he thought will come back to haunt us very, very early on. So I'm backing you on that. You did say that.
Yeah, so like I said, once again, it's bro, I'm a fan. I'm emotional. My ambition is for us to dominate. And then the guy said to me in an interview, because every time Klopp does an interview, people lock in, he's talking to me. The guy said, yo, Zuberi, I'm not trying to dominate. I'm just trying to challenge. Nah, bro, I need you to dominate. We brought you in to dominate. And so I've been judging him harshly, man. And like I said, I stroked the one match. It sparked a little bit. Some people call it win. Start seeing the deficiency I was pointing out. I was like, nah, man, this guy, he needs to do better. And Lannon, you're saying he's not going to do any better. You know, he's gotten old. He's hunched over now. He got the cane. He's not going to run, a 10-second, 40-mile dash or a 40-yard dash. He's not going to run like Usain Bolt again. And I get that, bro. But if he's not, let's get the guy that can. You know, why should we have to accept that? And it's the same argument that I'm using against Klopp. People are using against FSG. Why settle with these guys who are looking at the business aspect of buying a player? Because buying a player, whether you guys realize or not, it's the most riskiest part of owning a football club. Because buying a player does not guarantee return on that investment. So when they're buying a player, they're always trying to make sure it is absolutely the right player. They've gotten it wrong with a few players.
Yeah.
Some they capitalized on, some they didn't capitalize when they should have. So the business aspect of spending is very risky. And no good owner in no good business dips into their own pocket. Because if the business is good, its value should bring other people's money to put in it. You only go in your pocket if you cannot get money into your business. If your business is failing, you then have to go in your pocket and bail it out. The business isn't failing. On the pitch is failing. You could draw a correlation between lack of investment. But like I said, we can only register 26 players, and we have more than that. We have about 12 midfielders. And everyone that's a Liverpool fan would know we need at least 3. So now we're going to take the midfielders up to 15. We have to let some of them go. Letting go is, look, sometimes you have to let go, man. And a lot of people, letting go is hard. I get it. When I say let go is hard, they don't even want to let go of Klopp. I get that as well. Some people don't even want to let go of Milner and Hendo. I get that as well. You have to let go, man. This is a ruthless business. Revolving doors, players in, players out. It's not players in, keep everyone, let them retire. It's not a nursing home. Some people just have to go. Whether it's the owner have to go, Klopp, some players. We need a lot of change right now. And like I said, man, Klopp, his tactics on the pitch, it's more telling than the lack of investment.
That's what I was going to say, but you've answered my question that I was going to ask, which was choose one to go right now, Klopp or FSG, first Zuberi.
They put you now, Zuberi.
Repeat the question. No, repeat the question. No, repeat the question. My daughter distracted me for a second. No, big up Grizz. Don't big up Grizz. Let him repeat the question.
Don't big me up. Yeah, no, it's a straightforward
What's the question, bro?
It's a straightforward question.
What's the question?
Ulterior motive. You know me, Zuberi, man. Me and you.
What's the question? My daughter was distracting me. I apologize. What's the question?
You want Klopp out right now, or you want FSG out right now? Because you definitely want out someone. Because you're not ready to just what's the word? Go through the motions. Because you often talk about, I don't want to go through the motions.
Right. So here's what I'm saying to you guys right now. Come take a sip with props. Here's what I'm saying right now. So obviously you see I got my little girl with me. I got another little kid there. I got 2 other kids in 2 different continents. I got kids to look after. And handing down Liverpool kits isn't good for them. Liverpool kids can't pay the bill. Liverpool kids can't pay the bill, but investing in FSG can. So I would get rid of Klopp and keep FSG because FSG can secure the future for the kids. It's all about the kids, man. You know, take care of these kids. So
FSG. So you want Klopp out?
Yeah, I'll keep FSG for the future of my kids, man. Because when I buy up these stocks and these shares in the club, I can hand them down to the kids. I can't give the kids Salah shirt and tell them, yeah, Salah did up the numbers and best Gerrard numbers. So, here's a Salah kit. Ain't going to do nothing for me, man. Like,
sorry. Okay. Lannon, if there has to be a change and we all agree to a man, woman, lady, anyone in the chat, we all agree there needs to be change. Are you changing FSG? Are you changing Klopp? What are you doing?
For
if
me,
it's in your decision, yeah. If you had the overriding authority to be able
if
to
I
change,
have the overriding authority to decide today, right? I'll tell FSG. Let me say this before I answer that question. You know, I need a owner who, sometimes fans will look at how many billions they are worth. Our owner is richer than Abramovich, but Abramovich, being a Russian, he loves football. So I needed the problem they have, not that they don't have money. The problem is they don't like football. And you say wherever your heart is so important. So I need an owner that loves football. That is the key. Not Klopp going. Klopp has proved to me he can go again and again. Why? You know the business model of America is like this. If you draw a graph, it's going up, not staying there, come down, and then going up again. Go and check all American companies. That is where it is wrong. So we should expect us to go down, not finally going to relegation, that's what I mean. Go down and then come back again. If they can inject maybe, let's say, 100 million every season, and then get people who will spend that money wisely.
But they can't. So I'm telling you to choose one.
They need to go, and Klopp needs to stay.
Thank
and
you very much.
If a new owner
we got there,
and Klopp and say, Klopp, this is 100 million every month. Every season. And Klopp say, oh, no, I want a player of 1 million. Then Klopp will be out. I don't care. I live in Germany 8 years, and I love him so much. But if he doesn't want to spend the money, he can go back to Germany.
No problem.
But now, the owner have to go.
Zuberi, Lennon, I want to end on you two guys chat. You know what I mean? And there's a reason why I wanted to end it like this. And you know what I mean? I've enjoyed your company as always. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Grizz. Thank you so much.
Both of you made your points very well, very clearly. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, don't let go. That's what I'm going to say to both of you. Don't let go. That's Grizz, the motto of the story.
Yeah, Grizz, don't forget what I said at the first. Please try and encourage our fans, especially those that come on your platform. You'll be doing that to keep calm. Keep calm. Don't let us get toasted. Please.
Do you know what it is? No, look, Lennon, I really.
You understand what I mean? You know what happened?
I understand what you mean, but I'm not the Pied Piper, man. I hate this shit. I don't want to influence anyone's thinking. Everyone has a freedom of opinion, speech, whatever. But I think I'm allowed to speak my opinion on my channel. And that's the only right that I have and I want. I don't want to influence or have the right to control anyone else. If people agree with me, if people disagree with me, I'm still loved. I've got very love and respect for you. But I understand what you mean about the toxicity, because but that's normal. Look, I got a hell of abuse today on Twitter, like serious levels of racism type abuse today.
Wow.
But it's part and parcel of the nature of the beast.
Get up to that.
It happens, no problem. When it gets to that level, that's when you think to yourself, oh man. But in terms of footballing, you're talking shit and you're talking right. That's absolutely fine. I disagree with your opinion on Klopp, but when it gets to a level where it's bordering xenophobia and racism, that's when it gets a bit stupid. But listen, we try our best. We try to look after ourselves first, fix ourselves first before we can fix others. Always look to fix ourselves first before even we try to advise, not fix others, try to advise others. Always look at yourself. But listen, thank you very much, man.
Thank you so much.
Zuberi, in a bit, my bro. Hope you're keeping well. We catch up real soon as well. Guys, both
thank
of
you so much.
Love. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers, Anna. A lot of points raised tonight, Grizz.
Just a very couple of super chats, and then we're going to wrap it up ourselves as well. Yeah, man. Albert says, Grizz, please tell London that I'm also engineering. No one should tell Liverpool sports to expect mediocrity. He should go back and listen to what I said. I'm sure. I don't think he was telling people to accept mediocrity, I think. Albert says, my ambition stops at being the best. Can he get that? Well, he'll understand now what you meant. Spend big money in the EPL or die. Simple. And Jamrock says we shouldn't be in ninth with the tools we have. Never. Agreed. We saying Bilal Kav, we need to wrap this up, man. Hella show.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying hella show.
Bilal's just sitting there as an Arsenal fan, top of the league, looking at all these.
Bilal's thinking we've been through this, 5-6 years ago.
I'm just looking now. I'm just sitting here, obviously listening to you guys, and the calls today, been unbelievable. And the support, the chat's been going off the whole time. So big up everyone for that. And if you haven't hit the like button, do that, please. If you haven't already. But as I said, the show's been great. But I'm just sitting here listening, obviously, to the Liverpool talk. To be honest, right, in so many ways, it is just similar to Arsenal. I just listen. I'm just like, I've heard this. Kroenke doesn't want to spend the money. He's not backing the manager. Is the manager defend? Like all of these things, I've honestly heard. Even now, like this Mudryk thing that's happened with Arsenal. It's the same debate. Kroenke's not willing to go the extra mile for Arteta. No, that's wrong. We shouldn't spend that kind of money because, why should we inflate prices and do all that sort of madness that a team like Chelsea are doing? It's just all the same kind of themes. And I think that's why, there is that similarity as well between Arsenal, Liverpool. We've talked about it countless times, Klopp, Wenger, etc. But honestly, the chat's been great. And I'm just here waiting for the
tomorrow. Your big days tomorrow. You must be. I mean, I don't know nerves wise. After seeing Man United, Man City, your final thoughts on tomorrow?
I think we have to win. Like I don't even want to see draw.
Do you have to win?
We have to win. This is a game now. Like I think we need to go away to Tottenham and win. And I know Kane's going to be up for it. I think he's 2 goals away from becoming Tottenham's top goal scorer, I believe, in their history. So he's definitely going to be up for it. But I think we need to make a statement tomorrow, put our flag firmly, as title leaders, top of the table, etc. And I think tomorrow, if we win that game, I think that's going to give us another bit of a boost and momentum. But honestly, as I said, if it goes the other way, and we've got that United game coming up as well, the build up to that is going to be insane as well. So tomorrow has big implications, and I think neutrals enjoy. I don't know what you guys' opinions of the North London derby. For me, like it's always a mad game, but it's one of those ones. Like when you're winning, it's fantastic. But if it's a tight one, or you're always just there, just need the game maybe even to end sometimes. But it's one of those
mad. Cav, you looking forward to the North London tomorrow derby? Because we ain't got a dog in a race. Even I don't know, I don't know what the fuck we want. I don't give a shit, to be honest with you. But as a neutral, you're looking forward to it, I'm probably thinking, right?
Yeah. Look,
intrigue. Not looking forward to it, but intriguing.
Yeah. Look, I like watching football. I'm intrigued to see what both teams can do. I think Arsenal are the informed team, quite obvious thing to say, but it's still a game that Spurs are capable of winning. So it should be a good affair. I'm hoping that it's got a bit of bite in it. I'm hoping there's some aggressive tackles. I'm hoping that managers go off. I want it all. I want it all from a proper derby. So I'm looking forward to the game. I don't really know which team I want to win. I think if I'm swinging one way, I guess Arsenal, because if we're going to take a top 4 spot, we're going to have to take it off Spurs, aren't we? So I think
if that, what are they 5th now right now? I think.
I'm backing Arsenal all day long, bro. I'm telling you, Arsenal are certified top 4, so we can only drag or dream of dragging the team that's closest to us, which is Spurs. So, but as I've said before, when I said we should always look at ourselves first before we speak on and try to talk to others or even advise others, just like Liverpool, we need to focus on ourselves, our club situation as well. I ain't about to speaking harshly on Arsenal or Spurs, because Liverpool Football Club right now, it's giving us a mega show today. We got one lined up tomorrow, people. I'm telling you, Bilal, that smile, that little giggle, that laugh. Good luck tomorrow, son. I hope you guys smash up Spurs. Cav, thank you very much for joining me. We say, do you know how we say for Liverpool every week, that was the worst performance so far? It's like, in this show, it's like that was the best show so far.
I think Klopp said it today. He said it's the worst game ever in his career. He didn't even say Liverpool. He said the worst ever. So yeah,
it was
Yeah.
that bad. It was stinky today, proper stinky. But people in the chat, 500 of you stayed us to the right to the very end. You soldiers, I salute you all. Smash up the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't. Follow the guys on their socials if you haven't. We got RedFellas coming tomorrow at 8 p.m. I think. I'm going to confirm with the lads. There's no games tomorrow, is there? Evening games? No. Is there?
Actually, but after the Arsenal game was at 4:30. I think the Sporting Benfica 6 or something like that. It's about that.
Liverpool fans only want to watch RedFellas tomorrow. Trust me, they don't care about anything else. They always come for the therapy. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. RedFellas will be back. Apart from that, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Love you loads. Take care.
Cheers, guys.